Welcome, everybody, to another stunning edition of the NERDWatch podcast. I, of course, am G Money. We are here, our first show in the month of July. I am joined by six technically, but five nerds on the show this evening on the NERDWatch podcast. Welcome, Facebook Live. Welcome to you guys as well. You guys can ask questions if you like, but we're going to be talking about all kinds of nerd culture stuff tonight as well. Gannon is breaking his phone. That's fine.
Alika broke his last
so let's go around the horn, shall we? A gaming guru is here in the house. The one and only Phormat, the one and only punk rock superstar, and back from his sabbatical. Gannon is in the house as well.
Yep.
Horror aficionado. The one and only Alika, the man who owns 333 Derry Road.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. He owns the whole road.
I'm missing a lot of royalties.
Yeah, he calls Maui Comics and Collectibles his home. Literally. So check it out, Maui Comics and Collectibles here in Kahului.
Yeah.
Also joining us tonight as well, Big C is in the house as well.
Hi.
He brings up our Hawaiian quotient here on the show.
Hawaiian
quotient.
Oh, my Lord.
Right. Our blood quantum for our Hawaiian.
Yeah, because I'm like 25% Hawaiian.
Right,
but
so
nobody can
technically,
actually tell.
just with him, we could all go to camp school.
I can tell. I can tell by the way you tan.
Myself. I don't need it.
That's true. You don't.
I haven't been tanning. It's just all that lotion I've been using.
Yeah.
Lotion.
Wow. And then the one and only comic book artist
Maui girl
and comic book writer, and the man who is the author of the Kukui Project, Disco Thunder Groovebone, and many other titles. It's the one and only Todd Bernardi in the house.
Hi.
How you doing, Todd?
Woo!
So first things first, here's what I want to talk about before we get started. I want to find out how everybody's doing, but first, before I get to that...
Before I care about how you guys are doing.
There was a proclamation made last week for those of you guys that did not come to the show.
Arrive.
Last week... Alika made a proclamation on this show.
I want to know what this proclamation is. I don't remember.
You don't remember
proclaiming anything.
Well, here's the thing: is that there
You
has
said
been
you were going to shave.
There was a battle of the beards, the battle of the ironic
I haven't found
beards.
my clippers yet. Give me some scissors, man.
All right. So here's the thing: is that we have Todd Bernardi and Alika. For those of you watching on Facebook Live,
Alika looks like he went to Woodstock.
They are competing with the most pretentious beards. And Alika's growing his out of spite.
If they're doing pretentious beards, at least one of these guys have like a curly mustache involved.
We could do it.
I agree.
Well, they could. But here's the thing:
find me my mustache.
Is that
wax.
this was supposed to come to an end this week, and then Todd technically would have
annoyed?
won.
Are you sick of the beards?
No, I'm not sick of the beards. I'm just
sick of my
I'm just
beard.
wondering if you were just playing chicken last week and you're really just going to keep growing.
You saw him swerve, didn't you?
I did see him swerve a little bit. That's why I'm
he's
asking.
sweating.
That's why I'm asking. See, that's good, Todd. That is good, Todd. That is good, sir. Yeah, just.
I think it's a little uneven.
I yield.
You look like the Pringles man.
That's right. You have to. You do. You look like the guy on the Pringles can. With your turned up mustache. That's pretty good, sir.
And then he turned it down for what?
So I'm just kind of curious.
I can attempt and it kind of works.
You look like you look like Snidely Whiplash
Or Dick Dastardly.
or Dick Dastardly. Yes,
Those guys are also. They're all. Based. No, they're all based on classic villains.
Yes, they
grow
are.
their mustache.
Yes, they are.
And that classic villain was played by a actor, and the actor's stage name was Todd Slaughter.
Wow. Look at you. The irony of it is, I thought the villain of our NERDWatch piece
That is a
between
cool
you and
stage
Alika was Alika.
No.
Oh, what?
You're the villain in
I'm
this.
the villain.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I did not know that.
He's Kevin Spacey. You don't expect him because he's kind of slow.
Nobody.
But then he walks out the door and the limp goes away.
There is no Todd Slaughter.
There is no Todd Slaughter. Got it. All right, so you need a clipper, is what you're saying.
He's not going to shave.
I don't think he's going to shave you. I think it's bull.
Well, because it's gonna throw off the whole man bun.
It will.
You'll have to get a haircut.
Every time, the longer you see Alika, the more you realize that with every hair that comes out of his face.
When did this become Beard Watch?
Here's the thing: is that it's because the last 2 weeks that we've done the show, this
Oh, wait, those are
competition.
the 2 weeks I wasn't here.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this last 2 weeks have become very pivotal to Beard Watch. It was the battle. It was the battle of the pretentious beards, and Alika actually swerved
Somebody
first.
get me my ascot.
That's right. Alika
This is
swerved
on.
first, and Alika said, "I'm cutting
Now
it
that's
next week."
Ascot, one word, A-S-C-O-T.
Right.
Not
Correct.
A-S-S-C-A-U.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing: is that Alika can't shave his because
that was wonderful diction.
well, it very much
Just want
was.
to make sure, because, I mean, interpretation is key when you say the word ascot.
Yes, absolutely. He's
He's like, I want to get my ascot.
all I know
That could either way.
is that I just want to see who hedges first. I just can't wait.
It's pronounced Ascot.
Yes.
That's
No, that's horrible.
not, you can't
terrible.
say. Can you say Ascot?
You should have waited for me to do it.
I was waiting for
Wait,
you to do
why
it.
don't you do it?
Alika's got an amazing ascot.
See,
Relax.
it's way better.
It is.
That's your Bane impression? Thanks again. That's
I
fantastic.
mean, it's not awesome.
It's not awesome, but it's
better
still
than
better than
everybody
mine. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Alika's Ascot brings all the boys to the yard.
Oh, I still want to try that. No, I'm going to get through it.
Don't do it. Okay, listen.
the way we're gonna get through that one.
Can we say that next week we're still gonna have the beards?
I probably won't shave my beard.
Wow.
I'm not gonna. I'll clip it.
Can
a
I
little.
What
ask
about your face beard?
Can I ask you this though? You seem to groom. This is not a slight by any stretch, Todd, but you do seem to not groom your beard. Is that
You look
a thing?
like hot trash.
Thanks, and I act like garbage.
You look like you should be outside with a sandwich board that says the end is nigh.
I draw comics instead.
Looking for a friend for the end of the world.
I'm just saying there's some guys that groom and there's some guys that doesn't. I'm not saying it's bad either way, but it doesn't look like you're one of those pretentious.
What he's trying to do
groomers.
is praise you for not caring about what you look like. You know,
We need more.
it's very brave of you.
I think he's getting more and more like the last man on Earth.
Oh yeah, I never
Yeah.
thought about
I kinda
that.
think that's what I'm
could be
seeing
the
going
case.
We
on.
had a comment that we need a 360 camera. Are we able to do this?
I think we can. I think I can. I'm
How
working
come
on that.
no one is facing the camera? Mr. Mohan says.
Oh, is that what Mr. Mohan says?
Yeah.
Well-
He's got a good point, because this is the worst camera angle ever to watch anything ever.
It's agreed. Agreed. And have it come. Yeah, I agree.
Right.
We'll,
This is not a flattering camera angle for me in particular.
yeah, you look.
Why are
don't
you
look good.
agreeing so easily?
Yeah, it's true. It is true.
must
It's
break
moving
you.
now. It's moving. It's moving. Anyway, moving on from the pretentious beard cock. Let's get into some. Let's get into some comics, shall we? Really quick.
Okay.
I want to talk to the one and only Alika. The man that's...
How come every single one of us is the one and only?
Well, he is the one and only. He's the one and only Alika that we have here. And he, of course, is the...
That we have here.
Isn't there an Alika that's running for office?
Yes. There is an Alika that's running for office here in Maui.
Alika Ate.
Alika Ate. And
You
his-
guys in New Mexico, you guys would be called Takayos.
Yes, Takayos. I know that name.
What's that?
It means you guys have the same first name.
Yeah. Something like
a
that.
thing?
It's like the way that
Our
Germans
camera
have
angle is
Zeitgeist.
dramatically improved.
Oh, good.
Somebody
Thank
get
God.
that. Somebody get that.
So I think Kenneth got promoted.
He did.
and Swan
He's
got
now
demoted.
cameraman.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Swan's ideas of priorities is ruining the show.
yes, it is. Want to talk to Alika, the guy who is the owner of Maui Comics and Collectibles on 333 Dairy Road in Kahului.
Really?
That wait,
that necessary?
was that not necessary? That anyway, moving on. Alika, it is.
just dropped the beat.
It is.
We're all going to start singing the Cup song.
It is. Alika, it's New Comic Book Wednesday.
Now I want to do that song.
Every Wednesday here at Maui Comics and Collectibles. Let's get through this. Maui Comics and Collectibles every single Wednesday is New Comic Book Wednesday, sir. What's coming out this week in new comics?
And collectibles.
Amazing Spider-Man number 15 from Marvel.
Wait, are we starting with... We're starting with the Independents. Okay. I just
Obviously,
want to make sure.
Amazing Spider-Man.
I want to make sure. Marvel, that's a wonderful independent story.
We've got Civil War 2, Kingpin number 1.
Oh, you mean that they ran out of ideas and they had to do another idea?
There's all these different numbers
again?
here. Civil War 2, X-Men number 2.
Marvel is the house of ideas, sir.
Yes. They recycle a lot of them.
They have there was the house of one idea, and they just kept doing it again and
Daredevil
again.
Punisher number 3. Deadpool versus Gambit number 2.
Yeah,
you like that.
You're getting Fukaki all over the table.
The Invincible Iron Man number 11. Moon Knight number 4. That's a popular one.
Nice.
How is that selling, by the way?
It sells out every day. Every Wednesday we get it.
It's because he's gay.
Wait, who's gay?
Maybe.
Moon
Is
Knight.
he just now?
No.
Is he now?
No,
What is
he's
that?
not. He's messing with
He's
you.
just trying to.
Because if that's the
be
case, he should be
controversial.
Rainbow Knight,
He's
right?
trolling you.
Wait. Moon Knight's not gay?
No.
Then you're thinking of the Midnighter.
What's the difference?
The Midnighter's a DC character.
The Midnighter raped Moon Knight once.
Moving on.
Is that canon?
Yeah.
Nah.
It was a crossover.
Silver Surfer number 5. Spider Woman number 9.
Now, she is a lesbian.
I don't know. What do you
she's
guys?
not.
She can't be because she had a baby.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, because lesbians...
Well, she was pregnant.
They turn
she
the
got
plumbing off
pregnant.
when you sign up to be a lesbian, basically.
No, but I mean,
All right, enough of the
I think she had.
jibber jabber.
Okay, so here's how it works. When a man and a woman like each other.
Do it in the Bane voice.
Now do you see why
I put me on the
I
spot, man. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, let Alika get
Why
through the
I
comics for crying out loud.
continually have to abuse Todd emotionally and physically because when he feels too good about himself, this is what happens.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Good point. Come on.
That's a good point.
There's a reason I do everything.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry. I'll refrain from all my comments till later.
Go ahead, Alika.
All right.
I got you.
Moving on to DC.
Yes.
We've got Aquaman 2,
Ooh.
Batman 2. Got anything to say about Batman, Todd?
I don't have anything.
Good. Okay. Great. We can get on with it. Let's see. We've got the Flintstones number 1. Totally independent comic about
Wait a minute.
something that
DC owns the comic book property
they're
of the
licensing
Flintstones?
it. They're redo it like how they redid Future Quest for the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
You know the poster right next to you?
Yeah.
No. But I know that that Hanna-Barbera isn't a total package. I thought Hanna-Barbera, they were individual.
I'm sure they got
properties?
something going on where they're trying to bring them out.
Okay, I don't know. Let's
But
just check it.
it's like a photorealistic Flintstones. It's going to be kind of weird.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. There's Future Quest number 2, Green Arrow 2, Green Lanterns 2. Let's see. What else for DC? Anything good?
Is that still
Superman number 2.
Is that still the
I
Rebirth
can't
series?
even believe that you skipped like the actual big book from DC for this week.
What is the big book?
Justice League number 1.
No, that's not this week.
I just saw it, dude.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Justice League Rebirth. No, it's Justice League Rebirth number 1.
Well, same thing.
Oh wow,
And there's going to be a number 1 next week of Justice League.
wow, interesting.
Yeah, because there's 2 number 1s during Rebirth.
What's the difference?
Good
The
job.
Rebirth one
Rebirth.
kind of preempts the story, and then the
Another one doesn't.
Instead of a 0 issue like they used to do in the 90s.
yeah.
Well, we don't have to wander anymore. Hey, Alika, call Jim.
Oh yeah, call Jim.
Yeah, just call Jim.
Yeah, he'll love that. He'll really enjoy me abusing his phone number.
Yeah, it's all-
Wait, do you really have his phone number? That's crazy.
Yeah. You guys want to call Jim Lee right now?
we can totally prank
Call
call
him in the Bane voice.
I'm going to veto that one.
That's right. Well, Mr.
Just
Lee.
randomly call him on your phone. Just be like,
Yeah.
Jim,
I just wanted to talk about our feelings.
that Flintstones book. What
He's-
were you thinking?
He draws all night. He stays up all night.
Now, Alika, what else is coming out for DC?
Well, that
All the
was
versions
it.
that you
Was that
want to
it?
talk
All
about.
right, so
I got some independent books, some real independent books. I feel bad for trolling you earlier, Todd. These are really independent books. This is all about the independent spirit of
all
comics.
right, independent comics. Let's hear it.
I want to hear it. Is it going to be
Bob's Burgers, for
Bob-
one.
Yeah.
You might, come on, give it up for Bob's Burgers.
little independent books?
Bruce Lee, The Dragon Rises.
Ooh, interesting.
Todd,
Who's doing that? Who's
eating
doing
their
that?
words now? That doesn't say the publisher on here.
Bruce Lee wrote it himself.
Yeah, Bruce Lee,
From the
posthumously, yeah.
Smart.
I'm sure it was Shannon.
We've got the Cage Hero trade paperback. That's by Kevin Eastman.
Well,
Go ahead, say something bad about him, Todd.
is he? Who's he publishing that under?
Cage Hero? I don't know who the publisher is actually on that one.
Okay.
It's probably the same as Fistful of Blood, right?
Gross.
Hey, you know what?
We've also
A
got
man loves his woman every day of the month.
Wow.
discipline.
Will you stop it?
Yes.
That is just. Oh my
That's
gosh.
why. Just turn his mic off. He's right there.
1455. I'm cutting that
You're
out.
getting really?
That is horrible.
Discipline number 5.
I'm so glad I was ignoring
Something
it.
you could use a little of. Some discipline.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is discipline, sir?
It's a comic book.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Who's writing that?
I don't know. That's one of those independent books
Not
that
Jim Lee.
Todd likes. We've got Invader Zim number 11
Ooh. Invader Zim is still a thing?
in comic book form.
Wow.
Paper Girls number 7. That's the Brian Vaughan book.
Right.
Let's see. Revival number 41. Sheriff of Babylon number 8, which is supposedly being optioned as a TV show. Spawn 264.
The guy, Tom, I think Woods or Coke.
What
Tom,
comic?
The guy that does Sheriff of Babylon, the guy that wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
He's writing it.
I have a cover. Can you reach one over there, Ken? Sheriff of Babylon?
He's an ex-CIA agent, and he took over writing Batman.
Huh?
Oh, Tom King.
Tom King, yeah.
Yeah, he did Grayson too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so he's doing,
Yeah.
and he's doing Batman now. And
Tim Seeley was Grayson. Sorry.
Mitch Gerrards is the guy that was drawing Sheriff of Babylon, and he did some excellent work on Punisher too with Nathan Edmondson.
Cool.
But the Tom King is an ex-CIA agent.
That's pretty awesome.
So if you like 13 Hours, you're gonna love Batman.
I love 13 Hours.
Seen that already?
Anyway, anything else in the independent
We've
comics?
also
sir?
got Symmetry number 5, whatever that is. Throwaways number 1, which is an Image number 1, so that might be fun.
Image.
Image, they've been
You
doing
mean
good lately.
it's probably not going to be rebooted and be in another number 1 in like 4 years?
Well, Todd McFarlane's not going to be making any money off it.
That's probably sure.
He's too
Tokyo
busy buying baseballs and stuff.
Tokyo Ghost number 8.
I mean, he hadn't done this since the 90s.
Who's doing that? That sounds pretty cool.
Tokyo Ghost? That's a pretty... I don't know who
is
does
that
it.
a Dark
It's
Horse
on
or-
Image. No, it's on Image.
Image?
But it's been a pretty popular book so far.
I saw the trade recently.
did not
It was
read it.
It's really good, but the artwork looks good.
There's Tommy number 2. Tommy the Serial Killer. It's about a rabbit that goes around killing cereal mascots.
That's pretty cool.
I thought it was cool. Maybe Todd doesn't. He doesn't like independent comics.
What up?
What's
and one
up
of the
now?
one of the best independent comics ever created, Walking Dead number 156.
Wow.
Hey, Walking Dead is a fantastic.
Yeah.
Like
Don't even argue.
independent comic.
Don't even
You can't-
argue.
And it's still in black and white.
Yeah.
And nobody thinks the black and white comics sell.
Are you okay?
Justice League America, you have the Rebirth one.
Justice League America?
Justice League of America. There's Justice League Rebirth number 1.
I was going to
and
ask
then
you that.
Justice League number 1.
Because there
comes out.
is...
Be two different comic books.
They're going to be...
Continuing series? Or
No, the Rebirth just stops at number 1, I believe.
Right, because and then
the
Justice
other
League of
one-
America is an offshoot, right?
The other one continues on from there.
Interesting.
Nobody can hear you.
So
I'm waiting for the Justice League China. We have a Chinese Superman now, so why not?
is the Disciple an Image book?
What was that?
Is
Is Disciple an Image?
Disciple an
Discipline.
Image book?
You literally tuned out in the middle of it for no reason.
I heard Todd talking, and I was like, not important. Discipline number 5 is an Image book, yes.
Is it Discipline or Disciple? I thought it was Disciple.
Discipline.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure?
You want to correct me again, Todd?
I'm just kidding.
It does say Discipline. I just read it myself.
Well, because the
There
Disciple.
is a book called Disciple, though, I think, isn't there?
No, there is.
Like you know.
I don't.
So
All right, well, that's all.
wait,
that's
is
all comic books.
is there a comic book coming out that's called Disciple and a comic book that's coming out that's called Discipline?
Arriving?
I plead the 5th.
All right, you keep investigating that. I want to know. I want to get to the bottom of this before the end of the show. If you guys
Wait,
want
this is like the movie Clue. Like we gotta solve a mystery before it's over.
we are.
Oh, snap.
It's a good thing we have Google.
Yes, we do. And good thing we have Maui Comics and Collectibles.
Maui Comics and Collectibles.
333 Dairy Road in Kahului. It is Maui Comics and Collectibles. An amazing shop here in the lovely heart of Kahului.
We had 7 people watching.
bigger than my house.
You guys can, of course, visit here in Kahului. What time should they be here if they want to pick up new comics?
We usually have the order sorted in by like 1 or 2.
1 or 2 o'clock?
We get
Don't
it like in
advertise
the
that
morning.
because then I won't get my stuff.
All right, sorry. So if you want to pick up your copy of Disciple or Discipline,
Double check with Gannon.
double check with Todd first.
Clear it with me what you're getting.
Yeah, it
then
is.
you can go pick up
That's
my
right. It's 333 Dairy Road
Or you can pick up my stuff.
in
for me.
Kahului, Maui Comics and Collectibles. All right. Well,
Now that we
Perfect time.
Now that we've killed 30 minutes.
now we did 20 actually. 20.
Oh, close enough.
Well, gents,
Great success.
anybody have anything exciting?
Success.
Anybody have anything exciting happen this week? Anybody watch anything? Anybody play anything?
I
Anybody
saw
read anything?
Room.
You saw,
Room.
as in Room, the new movie with Brie Larson.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
that
And
was it was good. Everybody
good?
should watch it.
Room.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's based on a book.
yeah.
An independent book.
This is a very titillating story.
Okay, anybody else watch it? Anything exciting?
No.
No? All right, just checking.
I cooked all week. That was
It
exciting.
was the 4th of July.
That's what I'm saying. It was the 4th of July.
I
Yes.
play Final Fantasy Brave Execution.
I watched the
That's
first
patriotic.
8 episodes of The Americans.
Ooh, that's a good show,
I
man.
just started Orange is the New Black.
I've never watched it, and everybody keeps telling
I
me it's
kind of want
good.
to start it
It's
now,
actually
too.
pretty good.
Is it good?
It's actually pretty good.
Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about it.
Is there lots of sapphic
Mostly
love in
women,
it?
though.
Yes, there is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you know that, I'm telling you, Netflix is... Has anybody seen the trailers for the new Netflix series coming out in the middle of this month called Stranger Things with Winona Ryder? It looks like an 80s
No, what?
Amazing Stories.
Why no?
Are you kidding me?
I am not joking. It looks awesome.
Wow.
Netflix is coming out with a cool series called Stranger Things. It's an 8-episode run. If you can, we're on a radio
I
show.
gotta figure out my Netflix password.
Go to go on your Xbox and look
Ask
up.
your wife. I'm sure she
It's
knows.
called The Discipline.
Yeah, I guess
None
so.
of us know.
Interesting. Okay, now we're
Peter
back on.
Milligan, Leandro Fernandez.
Thank you, Todd Bernardi, sir, for clarifying that.
For giving us the final death stroke.
Yes, we got it. So yes, it's called Stranger Things. It is a sci-fi horror series courtesy of Netflix. It looks really, really cool.
Winona Ryder's in it.
And Winona
It
Ryder's
still
in it.
looks good.
Hey, seriously,
DJ just told us we should watch Marco Polo.
Marco
I've
Polo.
heard that before.
Yeah, I've heard that too as well. I did something that I wanted to talk
DJ
about.
also said that he can see Todd.
Isn't that kind of the point?
He can see Todd or can't?
You told me to like say what's
Oh
going on.
yeah, it's fine.
Sean pointed out that I might not be drinking juice.
Good, good, right? It's very good.
You're not drinking juice?
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah, of course.
What are you
he is.
drinking?
Huh?
Yeah.
Party juice.
Party juice.
Well, I tell you
What
what.
the F is juice?
I want some of that drink, baby!
Nothing too spectacular over the 4th of July
Anything
weekend for
come out this
myself.
weekend that we all missed somehow.
Well, here's the thing: is that
Independence Day.
No, that was last week.
that was last week. This week was
The Shallows, which I didn't get to see.
no,
yet.
The Shallows was the week
It's
before
been
that.
killing me because that's been getting really good.
The week?
reviews.
Yeah, that was the week before that.
Week?
Now this week was Tarzan, The Legend of Tarzan.
Yeah, Tarzan.
Was
Army Man.
Which is so weird. Like they keep trying Tarzan like every 5 years. It feels like.
and-
You know
Don't
why?
just have
The
one with
reason
Casper Van
the reason
Dien?
they do this with Tarzan is because
That
it's
was like
public
20
domain.
years
It's public
ago.
domain.
You
Right.
don't have to pay any
That
licensing
was
fees to
20
use
years ago.
Tarzan.
Yeah,
But
And
I mean, does that property still work for people?
I'm going to tell you something right now. This
It was good, though.
Legend of Tarzan. This one with
Christoph Waltz.
Is it Stellan? No, it's not Stellan. That's
It's Alexander.
Waltz is the star of Tarzan.
Alexander.
I'll go see any
Alexander.
movie with Christoph Waltz in it.
Alexander Skarsgård and Margot Robbie, the woman who'll be playing
Wait,
Harley
Margot
Quinn.
Robbie's in it?
She
Yeah,
plays Jane.
She's Jane.
She's Jane. Here's the cool thing about this Legend of Tarzan. It's been getting
If anything's going to make you go, ah, it's her.
It's her. The cool thing about this movie is that the critics have been railing against this movie. They do not like it.
Critics have been really hit or miss lately.
The audience though, audiences are loving this new
That's so
Tarzan
weird, 'cause
movie.
That property is very old, so I don't see a lot of people like
When you see what else is going on in the pop culture climate, it's a lot of stuff that people recognize from at least the last 20 or 30 years.
But you
Tarzan
see,
is, like,
and
more
this is,
further than
and
that.
you're right. But here's the thing: is that when there is no upfront cost, and all you're paying for is the production
can't lose.
and the advertising,
proven property.
it's already
People
a proven property.
recognize it.
This movie is making more money than it was even
But
tracking
what
to
was
make.
the last successful Tarzan movie? Disney's animated.
To be
film, right?
honest, it
in
would
my
be the
heart.
animated Tarzan movie with the Phil Collins soundtrack. Would be the one before that, in my opinion,
It's Greystoke.
was Greystoke, which I think is a fantastic movie. Love that film.
Lambert was Tarzan. in that, right?
Christopher Lambert was Tarzan in that one.
There can be only one.
Raiden?
Tarzan.
That's right. But that is doing incredibly well at the box office this week. You know what's tanking at the box office this past week? Steven Spielberg's new movie, The BFG.
I didn't see that movie working out anyway.
It is doing.
I'm shocked. Quite
it-
frankly,
I don't like
I
these
am
completely
shocked.
CG animated, like Polar Express or whatever. They're just
I
kind of
hate
like
it.
they're photorealistic, but
Yeah,
it's weird.
Did you like Beowulf? Like for me, like
I
this
didn't watch
computer
that.
animated stuff. Like if
Angelina
you're gonna
Jolie.
go all computer animated, it works. But when you try to incorporate live action actors,
Yeah.
it actually makes you notice how fake the CG animated
yes,
characters
yes.
look. So even when I saw the trailers, I'm like, I just don't. Even Steven Spielberg can't pull that out, and I'm
Yeah.
not surprised that movie still didn't work. I mean, I haven't seen it myself, to be honest with you, but just based on the trailers alone, I'm just like, it still doesn't work.
Can I be honest? The thing is that I think what ruined this movie is the fact that it came out a week after Dory. That didn't help.
Yeah, but Dory didn't do that great either.
What? Dory is doing amazing.
Why does
business.
everybody think that? Like, everybody's been saying that Finding Dory's not doing well, but yet I always see the theater packed out when
I just assumed it doesn't
Dory
look that
is
great.
doing gangbusters
Really?
business. Dory is doing better business. It's on track to do better business than Frozen.
You know why everybody is saying
So-
that?
Better
It's
than
because
Frozen.
Barry wrote a terrible review of it.
Our own Professor Barry.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Dory
Dory
is my window to cinema.
Dory is doing some serious. Dory is doing some serious blockbuster box office at this point, so that's doing really well. And I think that was a big mistake on their
Is
part.
it still number one?
It is still it eked out number one again this week.
Tarzan knocked it off.
No, it didn't. It tried to, but it didn't. And last but not least, that came out this past week is The Purge election year.
Which did okay.
Which did fairly well.
Which is really weird
And
to me.
what's interesting is that it's being rated as being rated as the best Purge movie.
That can't be right.
Yeah.
Well, and like
I haven't
critics,
seen it yet, but all the reviews that I've seen say that it's like strange.
all the critics that I have read said that this is the best Purge movie.
Everyone that I've talked to that has gone to see it said they've never seen the other ones.
Oh, really? Well, that's because the first one was okay, the second one was terrible, and then because it got too political, and then this one it gets even more political. So it's yeah.
That could be why it's working, though.
That could be.
There might be some political subtext that people are latching.
Yeah, you're right, and it could be the case. I'm not a fan of The Purge. I watched the first two. It doesn't make me want to watch the third one.
I actually like the first one quite a bit.
Yeah, the first one was good. The third,
I just
the
like
second.
the concept of the Purge. I've never watched a Purge movie,
Which
but
is
I
why
just
which is
Really?
why I think the
I'm waiting for
franchise
it to be
works.
instated.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why that franchise works is because people like the idea of it.
Right.
Well,
But the
the
movies
first-
have yet to deliver on it.
Yeah, that's what I actually talked to some people that saw it, and they said that it was pretty good, but and it was better than the first one. But the first one was all right, and the premise was it sounds amazing, but it seems like the first movie didn't do anything with an amazing premise.
And in some respects, you're right, because what we get here is a very personal story, and what I think everybody was waiting for in the Purge, the original Purge movie, was a mass culture phenomenon. Which
They were waiting for some torture porn.
I'll be honest though. That's
Kinda,
kind of
yeah.
what I liked about the first one.
That was a very personal movie. Oh yeah. No, I agree with you. It works better in that respect, I think.
It happens in a
And then they did that, and then
And there's even a bait and switch because the
Yes.
the supposed hero of the story doesn't quite make it.
right. And so the Purge.
Spoilers from when it came out 3 years ago.
I know, right? So the Purge 3 hit theaters. It's actually doing well. I mean, as box office going, what was spent on the movie, it's doing.
I was
doing
going to
really
say
good.
that movie couldn't have cost a lot. To
Yeah. So good for them. So I'm. But no one saw any of those movies this week. I tried to watch Tarzan. I couldn't.
I haven't seen anything in a while. Wow. The last movie I saw was terrible.
Which was.
I'm not saying because I don't want to talk about it.
Wow, this is the Nerd Watch, sir.
Independence Day.
We talked about Independence Day.
Yeah, we're done.
We don't need to say anything else.
Okay, and by that resounding
So I'm stoked. that I didn't see
critical
it then.
review,
Jeff Goldblum was great in it.
Jeff Goldblum is the
Yeah,
best.
but he's
thing in the
Jeff
good.
Goldblum's great in everything.
Yeah, he's good in
Yeah, but
internet
he's like the
commercials.
same person in everything.
Yeah,
that he
he's-
plays.
That's why
He's great. He is the spokesman
He
for
is the John Wayne
apartments.com.
of nerdy people in movies.
King of the apartment internet.
The apartment, the apartment internet. He's freaking awesome.
Actually, there is one movie where he kind of goes outside the box a little bit, where he's in Earth Girls Are Easy.
That's a
Ooh,
great
he's
movie.
great.
He's the Richard Dreyfuss of that character, though.
Richard
Dreyfuss is like the same dude in every
No, he's
movie.
not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
No, he's
Rich,
that guy.
really? You think Richard
Dude,
Dreyfuss
he's
is
not
that
that.
way?
He's only seen 3 Richard Dreyfuss movies.
That
That's
one
because
movie,
he's only been in 3
like
movies.
there's that one movie he made where he's
Stop
not
it.
the same thing as that Mr. Holland's a puss.
I think you're mispronouncing that, Danny.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry.
That was
It's-
a great movie, by
I
the way.
believe that Mr. Holland's opus.
Oh,
No, it's pronounced a puss.
Okay. Okay. I think
man, all these years.
I will say this.
My mind's blown right
I
now.
will say that Mr. Holland's opus was a melodramatic folly for sure, but it was still good though.
It was
still
good. I liked
it. was
it.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
There's
yeah.
no Dead Poets Society.
You guys messing with me right
It
now
was.
because I've been calling that movie that all these years.
No, we're not messing with you. It's pronounced opus.
Yeah.
I wish I was messing with you.
Well, listen.
It's pronounced anal.
Before this
Jesus.
conversation gets too far, there is something that I want to talk to Gannon about because I wanted to talk about it last week.
Air out your grievances.
Yeah, it's the airing of the grievances on the
All right,
Nerd Watch.
here we
It's
go.
tentacle porn.
Is it Festivus already?
It's for the rest of us.
Where's the poll?
I watched all 7 hours of Crystal Lake Memories.
I haven't yet to see it.
I'm going to tell you something from a guy who only likes certain movies of that franchise. Unbelievable, Todd. Unbelievable, Todd.
I haven't seen it, so there's not much for me to say.
No, I wasn't. I was just going to say that all I wanted to say about it is that
Wait, how did you see it? Was it on Netflix?
it was not on Netflix. It was on sale on Vudu, so I bought it digitally, and they were like, it was.
It's a 7-hour documentary.
It was $6, and it was it's a 7-hour documentary.
You got a deal.
So I got a good deal.
Dollar
You
per
really
hour.
gotta love that franchise. Sit through 7 hours.
I'm going to tell you something.
Wait, in one shot?
I'm going to take no, not in one shot. Of course not.
Oh.
What's
Well,
brilliant?
you watched the Blu-ray, sure,
What's
right?
brilliant about
Seriously.
this doc is that it cuts up it does every single movie from the very first one all the way to the remake. Now,
Well, the guys that have been making those and then also made Never Sleep Again,
which is a fantastic documentary.
They also did a very, very brief one for the Halloween franchise. They've been kind of going through all the franchises.
Which is very smart.
They are the very definition of due diligence.
They did.
They go through as much as they can get.
I'm gonna
And
tell you-
it's exhaustive, to be honest.
I'm
but
gonna
it's
take
everything you would want to know.
But it's smart because what they've done is that they've given every movie about 45 minutes to talk about production, stars. There are some things I did not know about the franchise. I am not the biggest fan of the franchise, but I love documentaries.
I understand the appeal of it, and I'm the same as you. There's ones that are stronger than the others, but I'm not a huge fan of the franchise.
I've always
But I
enjoyed-
understand the appeal.
I've always enjoyed 3. I enjoyed 4. I enjoy 6, and my favorite to this day is still 10. The one in
Jason
space.
X?
I love Jason
Really?
X. I do.
Even hardcore fans don't like Jason
I know they
X.
don't, and I love it.
It's so like. Granted, the entire franchise is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
but I mean, Jason X is almost like a parody of it. Of the
And
entire
that's I think, and that's
franchise.
what I like about it so much.
That's why I don't like it. because
Interesting.
It doesn't embrace the tenets of what the franchise is.
Sure,
it
sure.
mocks it.
It does. No, it does. And I think, you know what's funny? So does 6. And maybe that's why I like 6 so much. Jason Lives. I think 6
I don't
does
know
the
if
same
that was
thing.
my takeaway from that particular
Really?
one.
It was very funny, though. It had this comic.
And then it had a comic appeal to it, and the same thing that they did with Halloween 5, where there
Yeah.
was a bit of comedy going to it, but not in light of the
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they
yeah.
tried to incorporate a new element.
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah.
the way I took it. But Jason X is an entirely different animal. I mean, they're flat out recreating scenes that you would remember
Yeah.
from the other ones in a comical way. Like, you almost feel
Right.
like you're watching a scary movie.
Right. You know what's cool?
But the franchise.
But the franchise scary movie.
Yeah.
You know what's really cool in this documentary? They talked to Jeff Katz, who,
Was Freddy vs. Jason also addressed?
of course, Freddy vs. Jason
So
got
they
his...
had to ring that bell twice because they covered a lot of that in the Freddy one.
Oh, no. They rang the bell twice, but they rang it from the Jason perspective, and they talked to Kane Hodder, and they talked to Ken Kersinger, and they
I'm
talked.
sure Kane Hodder was really happy to talk about.
I'm going to tell you something. Kane Hodder was great. Number one, he was great to hear his take on these things. And then you talk to, and they talked to Ken. They talked to all the Jasons. It's really cool.
I really felt bad for Kane Hodder because he was literally the only cheerleader for Freddy vs. Jason at a time when everybody was abandoning ship on it.
Yeah.
Like even Robert Englund was kind of just like Robert Englund was at a point where just like, if it happens.
They even talked to Wes Craven.
Because it started with him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even before the documentary, I was aware that Sean Cunningham and Wes Craven would have dinners to kind of like, all right, if it came down to us, what would we do?
Well, right, exactly. And Sean, what you watch in this doc is Sean left the series for a long time and didn't come back until 9.
Well, when you don't have anything else going.
That's right. You don't exactly.
If Sean Cunningham can't admit that for himself, then
well, you should watch. There's some interesting things that he did that in this document that I don't want to give away, but I will say that Crystal Lake Memories was narrated by Corey Feldman. He did a great job.
He's dead.
And it's something that is worth watching. You can watch a couple of the movies and how they got made and who the stars were and things like that, and you can turn it off, put it back on. It's all fascinating. It is all fascinating. I think you'd appreciate it a lot.
I think they're doing the Hellraiser series next.
I hope so, because
that is like a labyrinth in and of itself, because there's so many of those. Plus, there's a movie that doesn't even have Doug Bradley in it.
But getting back to my point, Jeff Katz, this guy is he's the guy that, if I'm not mistaken, in the documentary, he talks about the script that he bought that he wanted to make. And I believe that was and they talk about it extensively about the Jason versus Freddy versus Michael Myers versus Ash script. And they talk about that. And they talk about...
I don't know if there was a take that involved Michael Myers.
There was. He was talking about it. And he said that...
How fun would that fight be?
I don't know.
With two guys that don't even talk.
Exactly. And then they talked about how that
Ash talks enough for the both of them.
Right.
That's true.
And then they got to talk down a bit, and then what happens is it became its own comic. It was Ash versus Freddy versus Jason, and Michael got cut. Pretty crazy stuff.
I will say that when I listen to Jeff Katz talk, I just want to punch him in his throat because I don't like the guy's personality.
You know why?
However, his treatment for that movie, I don't know if it's Michael Myers one, but the Freddy vs. Jason versus Ash one, I have to admit, as much as I don't like the guy, was pure genius for a horror fan. Like, the stuff that he was doing in it, it was kind of mind-blowing in a way that even if you were a hardcore fan of all three of those franchises, you never would have seen the connective tissue to them all. It was there.
Yeah, so
in a strange way, it was always there.
You know what's funny is you know why you don't like Jeff? Jeff has this verbose attitude about him. He used to be
I was going to say full of himself.
Yeah, but he used to be he used to write for wrestling.
Vocabulary word.
He used to write stories for wrestling angles.
No wonder I don't like him.
I think so. That's why.
Would he write the heel?
He would write for both. So
they do writing for wrestling.
Unfreaking believable.
People have to write that stuff.
Listen,
I thought these guys.
You thought it was just Vince McMahon showing up in the morning, saying, "Okay, you're mad at him."
You can insult me, but you will never insult wrestling.
So these guys get all hopped up on steroids, throw on
Hey!
Let
me tell you something. First of all, WWE has a wellness policy that is actually
sure. That's why they all die before they're 60.
Well, no,
yeah,
not
totally.
now. Now they do, and it's actually the envy of the sports the sports arena. No pun intended.
Now we're calling it sports.
Yeah, it's sports entertainment, sir.
No,
it's sports adjacent.
Yes, it is. I like that even better.
It's so's a minority show.
It's sports adjacent.
It's sports tangent.
Well, I've always
tangentially sports.
I've always loved wrestling, still have to this day, and I respect the guys that do it. And yes.
Well, the local show on 88.5 is doing a special on wrestling in Hawaii.
There was Honolulu. Over in Honolulu, there was WWE came down and they did a wrestling show at the Blaisdell just on Wednesday of this past week.
And I heard it was awesome.
And I heard it was fantastic. It always is. Wrestling events are the most fun, and what's amazing is that you spend all this money to go to these things, and it's worth every penny. It's so much fun.
I don't know, man. If you're gonna watch a bunch of sweaty guys just all rubbing on each other, there's no full penetration. I'm not interested.
Wow.
Hey, look, Thunder Down Under does good.
Wow. Unbelievable. Once again, you may insult me, but never insult wrestling. Anyway, moving on before I get mad. Anyway,
I think that's a tear in his eye.
I think there is just a little one.
You
Anyway,
understand, brother?
you understand, brother?
Do you understand, brother?
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Yeah, thanks. You're killing my levels here. Anyway,
Killing levels.
You've got levels.
moving on to some more interesting news out there in the film and television world. Film world, there has been we knew that a couple weeks back, Entertainment Weekly did a special on Star Wars Rogue One. Star Wars Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Bigger deal of Darth Vader being in there.
Yes, Darth Vader.
Strange, isn't it?
Darth Vader's going to
Almost
be
like they need to sell the movie on you.
right. And then we found out that James Earl Jones will be doing the voice of Vader again.
Well, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, reshoots, Darth Vader being a bigger deal. I'm starting to wonder if they're just including more Darth Vader to make sure people actually show up.
Yeah, I guess it might be.
Because that first
that would
trailer
be, like,
came out
super-
not bad, but it didn't have the same fanfare that The Force Awakens
Yeah,
trailer
but
had.
they should have gone Guardians of the Galaxy with this thing, and nobody knows any of these people except for Forrest Whitaker's character.
Right.
It
apparently
kind of is. I mean, like, it's fine already on itself. Just let the movie
Yeah, no, that's
roll
what I'm
on
saying.
its own.
Is I hope that's not why they included so much Darth Vader. Maybe that was already. Part
I
of
almost
it.
guarantee you all these reshoots have more to do with including more Darth Vader. Because all of a sudden, these two stories came up at the same time.
Well, all I
More
can say is
reshoots, Darth Vader.
I love Donnie Yen in martial arts action roles, so I'm just like most excited to see Donnie.
I'll
Donnie
bet
Yen
you
in
some of the
action.
reshoots included him, like they take the stick out that he's using in the trailer, just give him a lightsaber instead.
Oh my gosh!
Well, they said
I'm
he's not.
telling you, dude, Donnie Yen with
Darth.
a lightsaber?
Yeah,
I want to see that.
I do. I did. I'm with you.
I saw that.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, it was in
Photoshop.
Someone posted a gift to his people.
Somebody took Ip Man and just like put a lightsaber in his hand when he's
Yeah.
throwing around a stick.
It's interesting that the reshoots are still happening. They won't be over until I believe mid-August. I think.
Which is strange considering the movie's out, 3 or 4 months after that?
Yeah.
Isn't like anything that Donnie Yen can do with a lightsaber going to have already been done in the Phantom Menace? Though I mean,
No. Because Donnie Yen's not in the Phantom Menace.
but that's what I'm
Ray
saying.
Park is impressive.
That's right.
Donnie Yen is next level impressive.
Donnie Yen's okay.
Wow.
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 He's no Ray Park, but he's
Wow.
okay.
I'm sure
Wow,
isn't
you're
that
going to put Ray Park over Donnie Yen?
anything Donnie and
That
I
is a
can do
blow to the
better.
ego.
And you got your gun. That's awesome. Thank
Anyway, yeah. So I'm not worried
I'm just
about
teasing.
Star Wars.
I don't think Disney is either, to be honest.
I'm just concerned. Not worried, just concerned.
Why are you so worried?
I think that the intent of what I originally saw in the trailer was amazing. And it was so different from what we got from Force Awakens that I was totally on board. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
I'm actually
yeah.
more excited
I was-
for Rogue One than I am in Force Awakens.
That's what I'm saying.
because it's not tied to baggage. Well,
Right.
I mean, it kind of is, but not
No,
really.
this is the first
Many-
movie that
many
represents a
Bothans
break.
died.
This represents a break from the first movie that's a break from the saga.
Sort of, but not really. Like, it's tangential to
Well,
the
aside
first
from
film.
E.T.
Yeah,
we
well,
went over that already.
right.
It's
Listen.
it doesn't have to do with the royal family.
Let's
the
not go
Skywalkers.
over.
It's not tied to the Jedi's or Skywalker. or any of those
Let's
things.
not go over the council with E.T. and the Thundercats. If you missed it last week, listen to the show from last week. You'll get it. They were.
We had lots. There were lots of hoes on.
Yeah, there was a ton of hose. But I'm like I said, I'm a little concerned. Not so much worried. I'm just concerned that we're changing the tone of the movie, which would be, I think, it would
What do you mean, like Donnie Yen
director
going
of the film
ham on a
came
bunch
out
of
and
death
said-
troopers?
hamming it up to ham it up just for hamming it up's sake.
I can never remember. Is it Gareth
Mark
Evans
Hamill.
or Gareth Edwards?
It's Gareth Edwards.
Okay, so Edwards. He did. I read an article where he said like they knew these reshoots were coming.
Oh,
That
interesting.
both he and Kathleen Kennedy knew well ahead that they
Okay.
were going to need reshoots, and a lot of the reshoots are more of bridging sequences than it is about creating newer sequences or changing things. It's just that there's some connective tissue from moment to moment that they were going to need, and it's really more about that.
Okay.
But that's what they're always going to say about reshoots. They're never going to flat out tell you, it's like, we showed this to a test audience and they thought it sucked, so now we have to fix it. Nobody's ever going to say that. Nobody's ever going to say that.
No, you're right. You're right. They won't say that for
Like,
sure.
even when BVS is happening, the initial cut that's the Ultimate Edition now, everybody had a standing ovation for that one. Then they put out a cut version of it, and nobody liked it.
Unbelievable.
So it's the opposite situation, obviously, but Disney has nothing to worry about.
Well,
Did you see the Ultimate Cut?
Not yet.
I've
I've been waiting until it comes out on Blu-ray.
Batman v Superman. I'm assuming we're talking about here.
Yeah.
I saw a few sequences that have been posted on YouTube, but I'm waiting until I can see the full
All right,
thing.
so no one's seen it yet.
The full
Not the whole
Monty.
thing.
Okay, it has come out digitally. It will be out on Blu-ray.
I just don't want to. I don't want to spend $20 on it.
Apparently, it's worth it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
worth
what
it. I mean, if you already liked the movie, you only like
This
it.
coming from a guy who spent $100 on the movie ticket.
I did.
Uh-huh.
So I sound a little biased there.
Well, here's the thing: is that the Blu-ray comes out next week. No, the week after, the 19th. 19th. So the Blu-ray will be out with along with the 4K
I'll be coming back
disc.
from LA around that time.
Oh,
where I'll get to see the actual Batmobile.
wow!
Yeah, I'm gonna brag about that right now.
Wow!
Yeah.
So you're going?
The actual
Like
When are you
talking
leaving?
his chickens about seeing this Batmobile.
Oh yeah.
When are you leaving?
I'll be landing there Friday morning.
Friday morning. When you be back?
Wednesday.
Oh wow!
So you're missing next
I
week.
am gonna miss the
week.
next pod.
What a jerk!
Sorry guys.
Thanks
You
for
can make
telling
it
us
up
in
to
advance.
us by bringing
we're just
a
gonna
bunch of
change it to
In-N-Out
Wednesday
burger
just so
back.
you can do it when you come in.
I'll be landing about 8 or 9 o'clock.
If you
in the
bring
morning.
back
Even
In-N-Out
better.
Burger, all is forgiven.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna have
Tell-
to do that now.
I'll bring some kind of In-N-Out for you.
Oh,
bud.
wow,
Big-
that's
big
not
boy.
what I wanted, but
Big
okay.
Boo, Big Bay.
It's pretty crazy.
What about
Bay.
Dunkin' Donuts? Like, what if I bring some Dunkin' Donuts?
That might work
It's
too,
not
but
as
nothing
good
nothing
as
as good as
Krispy
In-N-Out Burger. Whoa!
Really?
Dunkin' Donuts are not as good as Krispy Kreme.
Wow! Them is fighting words.
Dunkin' Donuts.
I haven't
Dunkin'
had
Donuts
Dunkin'
is
Donuts
pretty
since I was
awful.
a little kid, so I don't know anymore. Honestly.
They're always stale. Even
enough.
when they're fresh, they're stale immediately.
Speaking of stale, guess what started filming?
Stale.
Thor Ragnarok.
Oh,
Oh, wait. Why you
just,
hating on Thor?
I'm just kidding.
Dark World was actually pretty good. I
This
liked
Thor
Dark
is
World.
gonna kick your butt.
Wow.
It's gonna be like Planet Hulk if Thor was in it. That's pretty much what Thor 3 is gonna be because
And with a little bit of cosmic sprinkles. From,
that's what they did. That's what they did
from
with
the
Captain
Galactic
America.
Guardians tying in.
And roundabout back to Dunkin' Donuts. Cosmic Sprinkles, baby.
Well,
no, but seriously,
That's the name of the podcast, by the way.
Every time I read
Stale
about,
Marvel sprinkles.
but seriously, every time I read about Thor Ragnarok, all I'm actually reading is that the Planet Hulk storyline is being embraced in it. So it seems like they're not really leaning on Thor anymore. It's just like they want.
but they are using Thor's cosmic connections, and I was reading back through a bunch of old issues of Silver Age Thor.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be amazed at how many cosmic characters got their introduction through Thor's book. So he has connection to like all the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. They eventually shifted over because they weren't as popular to Guardians of the Galaxy as characters in that universe. But they all are connected to Thor as well. So, I mean, I think this is an awesome... I think Thor Ragnarok is going to be like the Guardians
I wish
2
I was
prequel.
connected to Thor.
Can I wish I was too. Can I say that I
It was
also
funny when I said it.
No, it was.
He wasn't trying to be funny.
I wasn't. Can I tell you that this movie concerns me as well? Not so much
likes
worries me
wrestling.
as
Is
it
it because they're
concerns
from
me.
New Zealand's making it? You racist?
Actually, I'm
not
worried because right.
Why are you hating on New Zealanders? for?
No, you're right. That is part of my issue. Is the director Waititi? My problem with it, Taika Waititi.
Is that even right? Is that
No, that's what it is.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it is.
It's pronounced anal Jesus.
My problem because that has something to do with Taika Waititi.
No, that's what that means in English.
Oh, got it. My issue is that from what he has done, he's done a lot of comedy. He's responsible for Flight of the Conchords. He's responsible for a very funny movie.
Okay, but what are the directors of Civil War known for before Marvel?
All right,
Let's look at it that way.
true.
The
What
Russo
was James
brothers.
Gunn known for before he did Guardians of the Galaxy?
Listen, you
He
got
did Super.
That is, and
What
that
was
movie
Jon
was
Favreau known for
Super
before
was
Iron Man?
garbage.
Swingers.
Super was alright.
I hated
Zathura.
it.
Chef.
That was the big movie Jon Favreau was known
No,
for.
it was
Other than
Swingers.
that,
John
Swingers,
Favreau's movie was
baby.
Swingers
Swingers.
was 20 years ago, and it's nothing like that.
Yeah, but he basically established him and John.
that's his
and,
chops
If
right
we're looking
there,
at what
yeah.
he did recently, before he did Iron Man, that
Okay.
was his only track record, was Zathura, a movie that came out and nobody saw.
Zathura is a great movie, by the way.
didn't know
The
him
only
for
thing
Zathura.
great about Swingers is that it was a big cult hit when it came out, but that was also
Of course.
20 years
Good movie,
before
though.
you
Good
got to
movie.
see
But that's the
Zathura.
only reason I pay attention to Jon Favreau now.
It's
so.
true.
But the point
I
being
respect
is
him
that
for
the
Swingers.
only movie close to that would get anybody to look at it,
respect
that
him
an
for
Iron Man
Swingers?
film was Zathura, and nobody
All
saw that
right,
movie.
now I saw Zathura. It was good, and now
like
you
I
do
said, nobody saw that movie.
listen. Kirsten Stewart is in it. It's actually a much better movie than you think. It's better than Jumanji. It's better than Jumanji, in my opinion.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, is Dak Shepard in this one?
Yes.
So it's not.
I remember the commercials for this
Yeah,
one.
it was great. It's a very good movie. But here's the thing.
Outer Space Jumanji,
I'm not,
right?
and once again, this is not a worry so much because, as we all know, when you make a Marvel movie...
I thought it was a book by Nietzsche.
Same thing.
Okay.
No.
When you make a Marvel movie, you're not you're technically at the whim of
Zarathustra
Marvel.
spoke.
Well, I look at Marvel Studios the same way I look at Marvel Comics as a company.
Yeah.
They're
get
not
me.
hiring
They're
you to
independent?
create something. They're hiring you to keep the train moving.
Right, keep the train rolling.
They're not asking you to come in and create something fresh. They're like, this is what we have. We need you to push this forward. Nobody that's working for Marvel will be like, all right, we need to see a brand new this. They're like, this is what you have. This is what you need to do.
They need to hire Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, totally. I
Just
have no idea what
push it.
Salt and Pepper has to do with it. Yes.
So that's right.
Push
So,
it good.
Thor,
Push it good. Push
Yeah.
it real good.
But I mean,
Push it.
it's the same thing as the
Nothing
comic
like
books.
a bunch of
Nobody
nerds.
that's doing the comic books is asked to create
That's
something.
true.
They're asked to just, if anything, put a new spin on it, but they're just asked to
Take the ball and run with it.
Take the ball and run
keep
with
the
it.
wheels rolling.
Can I ask a question that's tangentially related to that? I think we use the word tangential in this podcast more than we should
Yeah.
have.
Why? You want to sound smart?
No, I do, of course. That's why I said verbose.
Your made-up word.
Yeah, I know. I heard verbose
Wait,
earlier.
you
That's pretty
said
good.
you said it was sports adjacent.
I said
And you said
adjacent. That's
sport
kind
adjacent.
of.
That's also.
I said tangential. He
You guys
said
should know
adjacent.
adjacent, though.
Here's my
And
question.
I said faggot.
And this is for Todd. Todd,
Oh my god!
question.
You're gonna put me on the spot.
Wow, thanks. Appreciate it. We have so much class on the Nerd Watch.
We have so much class on this podcast.
Thanks, Bane. So, if just because I'm interested, since Gannon brought up an interesting point about
teaching you how to do
pushing Marvel, okay.
Yeah.
Like from Moss class.
If you were approached by Marvel and Kevin Feige came up to you and said, "You know, Todd Bernardi, I think your artwork is amazing."
You'll never say that to me.
Why would Kevin Feige look for an artist?
Don't be so down on yourself,
Okay,
Todd.
all I'm saying,
That's
look,
our job.
It's a
He's not looking for an artist.
It's a hypothetical.
He's looking for the next big director.
All right, it's a hypothetical, and he goes, "Todd, listen, we like your ideas. We like what you did here. We need you to translate all these ideas from your comic books, and I need you to put all of that energy into
Cartoons.
Toys.
Spider-Man." If you could come up with a
One
script
idea
for,
makes
say,
the most.
not necessarily the movies, but if you could, maybe we'll work on that later, but a cartoon. Could you see yourself working for Marvel?
I see him drawing Spider-Man when nobody's looking. He erases,
I just want to...
Lost it all over.
he erases the helmet and the rebreather off of his character and puts Spider-Man eyes on it.
No. He draws it exactly the same.
That
Just
is
puts lettering on it.
awesome. I'm just kind of curious as to where your stance where your stance would be on
Yeah,
that.
Todd.
Say, listen, I'm going to give
We're all
you.
looking at you.
Kevin
Assume
Feige
the
says,
position,
"Hey,
baby."
Todd Bernardi, I'm gonna give you a buttload of money."
That Feige guy wants you to remain.
But I gotta put it in your butt.
Yeah, I'll be like, we're gonna do Spider-Man, but it's gonna
That's
be
right.
a woman.
I want no. I want you to do
Spider-Man.
web wires for Disney
Asian
XD.
woman.
So
I don't think I would do it.
All right, listen. I admire a man with principle.
The
Admire.
reality of it is, he could walk in right now and pull any one of us to direct a Marvel film, and it would almost end up the same.
No, you're right. That's what I'm
because
saying.
The machine is already set.
But what I'm saying is that with a cartoon,
we get
Todd
to
can
pick the
let
lens
his
players.
imagination and his comic book prowess come alive in the cartoon.
prowess.
Kevin Feige doesn't do the cartoons.
I know. But what I'm saying is that if he was approached by Marvel, or let's say just Marvel,
Hypothetically,
yeah, hypothetically, if you say that
Marvel adjacent.
Marvel adjacent. That's an
you sound smart already.
First of all, the name of the podcast
Sorry,
is Comic Sprinkles, baby. Cosmic Sprinkles. Anyway,
It's called
Hashtag Marvel adjacent.
No, it's going to be adjacent sprinkles.
Adjacent. Cosmic.
So,
adjacent
I
cosmic.
I will say this: if you honestly can tell me that you would not do that, that takes a lot of gumption and that's
He's full of crap.
No, I wouldn't do it.
wow.
There's.
I have no experience at all, and if somebody asked me, I'd be like, yes. Spider-Man,
It's
XD, no
gonna
problem.
no, man.
No
Spider-Man,
problem. I can write my crappy independent comic on the side.
Right.
I didn't
While
say
I
that.
sleep on a pile of money.
All of a sudden, it's funded.
Listen, you don't have to give up Kukui Project or
Right. No,
You
I
have
would,
less time to work on it, though.
Yes, he will.
well, I would.
It works on it as is.
Yeah. It writes itself, baby.
Right, that's right.
The Spider-Man universe. I don't have anything that I could add to that. I mean, from a just like a right.
You could do a rebirth.
No, but I mean, it's a character that's been around for
Decades.
50 years, and I can't. They've already done everything.
So you're more thinking, what if I mess this up?
No, I'm just thinking that
You would
it's
crack under the pressure is what you're saying.
no.
You have to start off with somebody that's inspired to bring something to the table.
I think that.
What about a Batman story? You got to have something to bring to that.
I don't think I mean,
Okay.
it would be
all right.
no more
let me
start.
Because he's a Batman fan.
Let
Come
me
on, Jim.
fine tune this then.
He makes fun of
What if I were
Spider-Man.
to tell you that Todd and you were? I was Marvel and said, Todd, I understand that you don't think you can bring anything to Marvel.
Because
The
you feel like
cartoon
you're a
universe.
loser. But
Why
don't-
are they still talking to him at that point? Then
Todd, we really
they're really conciliatory, aren't they?
appreciate your expertise in this field. We think you're a strong talent in this field. What we think you could bring to our cartoon department would be amazing. What if I were to tell you, Todd, that you may not have to work on Spider-Man per se? What if I want you to work on a new villain for Spider-Man?
And you can sue us and take him later.
And will it make a great
and
action figure?
by the way, Todd, just know all rights still belong to Marvel. But we're going to pay you.
Man.
no. I mean, Marvel's kind of they're the 500-pound gorilla,
Yes, they are.
and so I don't see myself getting into a fight with a 500-pound gorilla.
Of course.
So you do what they tell you to.
No, so I wouldn't.
See?
I would make sure that I didn't get in the room with the 500-pound gorilla.
Wow.
I'm not going to be that kid
scared
that
of
falls
Marvel?
into the habitat and the gorilla has to get shot.
And you're not dragged
I
around
think
by your
Nobody's
feet.
shooting Marvel,
I think
buddy.
that you
They're gonna
are
let
already
Marvel
in a
have its
room
way with you.
a couple of 500-pound gorillas.
Well, I have to tell you something. I don't know how you guys feel. Maybe you can chime in here. I think if you take the principled stand, that I have to commend you on that. That's ballsy.
If I see that happen in front of me, I'm gonna go and find every copy of your little comic book. I'm gonna. First, I'm gonna burn it.
okay, but let's be real here.
Are you gonna shite on it?
Let's be real here. You're brought into an office. They tell
Correct.
you, okay, we're going to throw money at you to do something.
Right.
But what if you don't have anything for it?
No. That's what I'm saying. And I mean, most people would take the money. And for him to not take the money,
but
that's...
the fact of the matter is, nobody gets into these rooms unless they come from an inspired place in the first place.
Point taken. But I think that listen, I don't mean to throw too many compliments your way, but I think Kukui Project is a pretty inspired piece of art. What?
No, just you're being too nice to me. You're being too nice to me, and then that
Yeah,
makes,
he obviously wrote the comic book so you'd make fun of him.
and then
Didn't you read it?
and then Alika just wants to be
Badger.
so mean to me afterwards.
You know why he doesn't want to be nice to him? Because he knows I'm going to be mean to him right after.
As nice as you are to me, it's never going to make me feel as good as he's going to make me feel bad.
Because when I read your comics, be it Kukui Project or Disco Thunder Groove Bone, they're completely inventive. The stories are funny. Your voice is unique, in my opinion, and it's not because I know you, because it is. And for somebody to sit in a room and go, "You're a talented guy," I think that that's pretty cool.
well, yeah,
So I would think that you
that's
would
what
take.
that's what you're doing right
Because
now.
he's the one
that's
saying
enough for
that
me.
you're talented, Todd.
That's right.
It's enough for me to just hear this hypothetical question from you, Greg.
Thanks, sir.
But again, talent doesn't mean you have a great Spider-Man idea in your head.
Well, and that,
Point
but that,
taken.
and that's my point. Like, I haven't read Spider-Man since really the Clone Wars. I've read a couple of the other Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, that's a hell of a time to check out.
Yeah, I know. Right? It's like,
That's like when everybody was like, "Screw this! Glad you weren't around for Brand New Day."
yeah. I haven't. I haven't been a Marvel fan really ever.
Marvel has really, at inopportune moments, just ticked their fans off for no good reason.
I mean, I would have gotten. I mean, like I was a Batman fan when McFarlane and Larson were writing and drawing their Spider-Man comic books, and Jim Lee was doing X-Men. And when I go back and I see that artwork, it's awesome.
But I hear a big but.
He didn't actually say anything yet.
But I hear it, though. I hear it.
He knows how Todd talks.
But like the biggest
there
thing...
There it is.
One of the biggest things that's happened in the last 20 years in comic books is the fact that creators are actually get to own their own artwork now.
Sure.
And they get to own the rights to the characters, which never happened before 1992.
Interesting.
So...
All I'm saying is that would give you, if you were to work for Marvel, that would give your local comic book, your independent comic, more visibility.
That's true, and
it's capitalism, baby.
And I think that's the reason that Image is still here today. Like, I think that you could have taken 6 creators that were fantastic artists that nobody's ever heard of and tried to form their own company, and it would have died.
And by the way, that's why I asked you for Marvel instead of DC, because I think you would have taken the DC job.
Well, even just look at Valiant. Valiant is like, they're great writers and artists, just not as well known.
Who doesn't want to write Bloodshot?
Well, all I'm saying is that
Fred Van Lint is writing Bloodshot, right?
If I told,
and like 5 people are reading it.
If Jim Lee came up to Todd and said, "Yes, listen, Todd, I need you to write and draw some Batman comics for me."
Alika can make it happen.
Right. I think Todd would say, "Wait, Jim, let me unzip your pants," and then after that,
someone forgot we're on Facebook Live right now.
Oh, sorry. But anyway,
sorry, Jim.
Sorry, Jim. We love you.
Hashtag sorry.
All I know is that
the
DC Comics would be too easy because I think he would have taken the job. Yes? No?
No.
Oh, yes.
I probably wouldn't have taken it.
But I mean, like I said, I can see it from his point of view. Like,
I agree.
Just because you have an opportunity doesn't mean you have a great idea.
Taking a principled stand is, I gotta commend the guy.
But I don't know if it's a principled thing. It's just like you walk
what
into
if they
a room
told
and
you
they throw a bunch of money at you. You still have to have an idea.
Yeah, what if they tell you we're going to pay you regardless of how much it sells?
Right.
You can't come up with anything.
And if it sucks, we'll bury it.
Right?
What I would do is I'd be like, I mean, you guys know DJ Kiave Kane? Give him the gig.
He's a fantastic writer, artist, Exilian. His comic is
like way better than Todd Bernardi.
I mean, if somebody came up to me and
Who's
said,
that
like,
one dude that drew your stuff better than you?
Yeah,
you can send him to them.
Brandon Rodriguez.
Yeah, that guy.
I would, or like Sam Campos or Mark Gould or any of those guys in the Hawaii Comic Book Alliance. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that those guys want to draw for.
What if they don't want them though? They want you.
They want you, Todd.
Oh man,
they saw something in you that they don't see in the other guy.
That's right.
Which was the epic beard that he currently wears.
Right. It would. My notoriety on the podcast.
I would tell you something. Yeah, if Marvel or DC...
What if it was the podcast that got him in that room?
Internet famous NERDWatch podcast.
Right. It's not even the book. They're just like, you're funny and you're really good looking. Right. We want you to
and if he got a job on this podcast, he would never be invited back, ever.
Yeah. Oh, so we don't cultivate success?
No, we don't cultivate success here on the show. Never.
Good to know, because I gotta go. I quit. Good to know. All right.
No,
Todd, you could just show up like everybody else does.
When my band signs the deal to Epitaph, I'm never coming back.
I'm coming back here. But what's interesting about Todd's stand is like, I mean, I would be the guy that said, if Marvel came up to me and said, hey, listen, we think you're talented as far as writing goes, I'd go, where do I sign and how much are you paying me?
But then you turn around and you're like, okay, now what do I do now?
But there's a group of guys that I'm going to be working with.
No.
That's not how it works.
Just me.
Not how it works.
All right, well, that's what I'm saying. Just me. Okay.
Yeah, so
you get fired.
So if I
lose all that money.
Right, that's what would happen. That eventually I would come up with something that I worked really hard on that I think would sell well for them, and I think that it would create a new dimension for superhero comics.
And they would say that's not likability anymore.
And they would with their editorial oversight, they would say like, you can't do X, Y, and Z, and we can't DC Comics, as a corporate entity. Can't. Right. We have these mandates. We have these people that depend us, and we're not going to let you do what you think is artistic.
So the independent comic man becomes handcuffed by the man.
Well, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I was just kind of curious. I was curious.
I don't think that it. I think that.
Got here. How did we get here?
I don't know.
I was curious
he did
about.
Go on quite a tangent.
We're getting quite a bit of mileage off of this.
We are. It's good though. It's a good question. I mean,
for you,
It's a good question.
I thought it was a good question.
It's completely hypothetical and has no point.
It was.
I was going to say apathetical.
But it was Alika.
But it's hypothetical too.
Don't blame this on me.
It was.
It was me making fun of your Kukui Project character.
Yeah. It was Alika.
Don't blame this on me.
No, well, it was. We were talking about Marvel movies and how that entertainment machine.
Right.
Talking about Marvel movies, what do you think about Squirrel Girl that's coming out?
Oh my
It's
gosh.
not.
Will you let him
Why do you
finish?
think it is?
Why do you? Go ahead. What was
He
you
falls
saying?
for internet memes.
Oh, just that. Like, I think that like it's too big to fail too. Like, I think that like it's like Marvel Entertainment and then Pixar, they haven't had movies that make under like $300 million.
Sure.
You know, like, and so they're making so much money that they don't really care whether the movie's good or not.
Right.
They're going to make another one, and they're going to make a lot of money
I
from
agree.
it.
They're going to buy it.
The majority of Pixar
A
sequels
more
have sucked.
likely scenario would be like they see his book, they like his book, they'd be like, "Do you have a great Batman idea in you?" And if anything he says is nothing they like, they're not going to move forward.
True.
That's a more likely
That
scenario
makes
than they would hire if they like his book.
true. I was just coming up with a hypothetical like.
And it would be the same thing.
He's
for
trying.
movies.
He's just. G is like he's a real troll. He's trying to get Todd to admit he, corrupt his morals and
True.
values.
I am
for
kind
money.
of where it would come from because
I
mean,
just don't have any good ideas when it comes to superheroes because there's so many superhero comic books that are alive and well, and
you
everybody-
read and you like?
and I read and I like,
Okay.
and people do much better than I could.
How about zombies? How do you feel about zombies?
There's
How
no
about superhero zombies?
What about Hawaiian space zombies?
it writes itself.
What about Puerto
They don't
Rican?
need rebreathers.
They don't need rebreathers.
So what if Robert Kirkman came in here? No, I'm just kidding.
You just spoiled book 9, by the way.
Robert Kirkman would come in here and be like, "Carl's the only one that lives."
I hope
All right.
that's true.
Well,
No,
anyway,
it'd be like Negan is the only one that lives.
yeah,
right.
that is true. Anyway, moving on, Todd. I was just kind of curious. I wanted to pick your brain about that. You are the artist in the room, so that's all.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm not a bad writer in my own right.
Oh well, listen. I'm a comic book artist and comic book writer.
Oh, we're being that narrow.
yes, we're being that narrow.
Well, have you read Scumbag Tulip?
Yeah, have you? No one
It's
else
got
has.
comics.
No one else has.
It's true.
A lot of kids on Free
I
Comic Book
read
Day
it
actually
the
have.
first time that I met you,
Yeah.
and you handed it out to me, and I was 18 years old, and I looked at it.
You're
and
like,
I
it's
was
terrible.
Yeah. I was like, who is this weirdo handing me these things out? What is this crap? What am I going to do with it?
Your indie mag
It's called a fanzine.
fanzine.
actually. Yeah.
And then I read it
As
a
they've
second
been called
time.
that since the 1950s.
Sure.
They used to start. They actually started off as sci-fi magazines
Correct,
made by
sir.
fans, but they've been kind of
Repurposed
to mean anything.
Yeah.
Really.
All right. Well, listen,
But now
gents,
people make blogs.
let's move on to some more interesting news.
Is there any other interesting news?
Yes, there's a couple of things. I want you to know that we'll move from movies to TV here in a second, but I want to stick with. There is no big movies coming out this week that would pertain to us. The Secret Life of Pets is pretty much it.
My son wants to see that so bad.
So what?
None of us have pets.
The week after.
It doesn't apply to us.
The week after
Don't even say it.
is.
Don't say it.
Listen.
Don't say it.
The week after.
Don't do it.
Is the new Melissa McCarthy vehicle. I won't say the name. It stars.
I will.
Oh,
Isn't that more of a Kristen Wiig?
Kristen Wiig. Yeah.
Isn't she the bigger draw there?
Are we now? Here's my question: are we, as the Nerdwatch, are we doing? We already
Yes,
put it-
we're
Me
going to
and
be
me and
doing an
Phormat
event
talked
there.
about this before we started recording. We're still going to give it its due diligence. We're going to
And
give
we're
it a
gonna do it.
shot.
Okay.
And it's more of to see if I'm wrong.
Okay. Well,
Look,
here-
we can't go in there with closed minds, guys.
Yes, we can.
We've
But
got
I'm still going to give it a chance.
We gotta open our hearts to the
Dude,
new
the
Ghostbusters.
logo ghost is in the movie.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is like the worst idea
He's
I've
got
ever seen.
teeth now.
Right. And big shout
Chris
out.
Hemsworth is Janine.
Yes.
He wears tight shirts.
Big. Big shout out to.
They work out of a Chinese shop.
Got
on the
got a
second
problem
floor.
with the Chinese?
Yeah, what do you got a problem with Chinese for?
He's got
Like-
a problem with shops.
Bill Murray wouldn't do Ghostbusters 3, but he would do this.
Right.
How good it is.
Trust his judgment.
I don't.
That's why
He did Garfield.
I sense
He
a
did
little bit of
Garfield
reservation in
and
your voice,
Garfield, The Tale
Alika.
of Two Kitties.
You're not making it easy for me to be open-minded, okay, guys? Just come on. Give me,
Here's the thing. We are going to do a premiere.
Bill Murray is
Can
punishing
you
us for
please
being
put up
Ghostbuster
a page for that?
If I have time between now and when I take my trip, yes.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm gonna try.
You will be back for the
He's
premiere,
not going
though,
to
right?
care for it.
I land on Wednesday, so yeah, I should be here Thursday.
Okay, fantastic. I feel the tickets are already on sale for Ghostbusters already. I'd
More
said,
importantly,
dang
there's
it.
Suicide Squad tickets on sale.
Not yet. We're still waiting on
then who
those. Yeah. Ghostbusters.
We'll have some trade
Suicide
paper-
Squad or Avengers goes to Hot Topic.
Wow. Wow.
Pretty good, Todd. Did you write that yourself?
No. I would say Spencer Gifts.
Spencer Gifts.
Because the first picture that ever came out for Suicide Squad looked like a Spencer Gifts catalog.
Yeah, it did.
It's something that that's not original.
Yeah. All right. So
I'm gonna slap your face.
getting back
I
to
got that from
getting back to
The
Ghostbusters.
Late Show.
We're going to be doing this at the
I
Regal.
spent all that time trying to deviate, and you're going right back.
Regal Mall Megaplex is where we're going to be doing the premiere for that. So you said you're going to have what, Alika?
Some comics, some trade paperbacks. Might even have a toy or two.
All the ones that nobody came to pick up from the actual.
All the ones that are on
Ghostbusters
clearance right now at Target.
Yeah. You
The
supposed
movie
to.
hasn't come out yet, and the toys are on clearance.
Yeah,
Are we
thanks,
gonna
Gannon.
are we going to take Twinkies
What a
again?
deal!
Yeah, we should. But Gannon did post a picture on the NERDWatch Facebook page that the new Ghostbusters movies product line, toy product line, is already on clearance at Target. Unbelievable.
Everything, by the way.
Everything.
All of it.
All of it must go.
All of it.
Wow.
They can't sell it.
You know, when I was a kid, I
They're
had
giving up on it 2 weeks before the movie comes out.
Wow.
a
That's
stuffed
crazy.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Do they have any of those?
Yeah,
I'd go
they
buy
still,
one.
they still have that.
Wow.
They still have the
I
Ecto 1 being
missed
driven
that.
by Slimer, which is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
I don't like the new Ecto one.
How is he pushing the gas pedals?
With his
With his
ectoplasm?
mind.
With mind bullets.
Mind bullets. Well, if this is.
That's telekinesis, Greg.
I know it is. Just me. I do know this. I do know that we will be giving it a fair
With like 90% certainty.
yeah, with 90% certainty.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
The NERDWatch will be giving
Your impersonation is
Ghostbusters
getting better. The
a
more
chance.
right?
Yeah.
We're going to give Ghostbusters a chance.
The more
all right?
Tennessee apple juice you have.
But I will say,
This apple just got some kick to it.
You guys drink apple juice from all different
you
places.
sound a little Australian there, or English. It's interesting. But I
Just
do.
throw a shrimp on the body.
There you go. I do want to send a shout out to Ivan Reitman. Ivan Reitman, there was a story. Ivan Reitman came to the defense of those.
That guy's got a horse mouth. You ever see pictures of him?
Yes, I have.
Let's attack him for his physical appearance. Man, that guy's ugly.
That's a sound game
He
plan.
is. But his daughter, which looks just like it, was actually kind of hot. So it's kind of weird.
Well, Ivan Reitman, the original director
really bizarre.
of Ghostbusters from
How old is she?
1984.
In her 30s, I don't know.
Oh, okay, well, then that's okay.
She's actually in Sunny Philadelphia a lot, if you ever watch that show.
Well, it's always sunny.
Who is she on the show?
I forget the name of her character, the one that Dennis married.
Dennis. Oh,
Yeah.
the hot tranny.
No,
Oh, Dennis. Oh, okay, yeah. No, the one with the bad breath.
Yeah,
The one with the bad breath. Yeah,
the
yeah.
tooth. That's
Yeah,
Ivan
that
Reitman's
tooth.
daughter.
That's right.
I can't remember her name.
She's got a dead. Is the
She's got a dead tooth. Well, her character does.
No,
I don't know if she
is
really
is
does.
it real?
I think that's the name of the
Again,
podcast.
it's her character.
What's the
No
name of the
one-
podcast, Greg?
Oh, that hot tranny.
Look, taking that out of context, yeah, okay.
I don't know if we should lead with that.
No.
Like,
I still like Cosmic
like,
Pickles.
Oh, that hot
we really
tranny
should
with
try to hold
cosmic
on to the two
sprinkles.
fans we have left.
Listen.
You can't combine pod titles. You know, it doesn't work.
Jesus.
All right, listen.
What
Let's
about
get
tranny sprinkles?
let's
Sprinkles.
get back to
Tranny adjacent.
let me
Tranny
Adjacent
sprinkles
tranny sprinkles.
and
Like
stripper
it's gold either way you put it.
and
It's like
stripper
word
dander.
association with you guys. You just like get two words going and then
does.
you just like
Sprinkly tranny
there you,
adjacent.
yeah.
All right, let's
Just
get
mix them up a little
let's
bit.
get back to my story.
Hey, can we stop going off on all these tangents?
Yeah, stop it.
Ivan
right.
Reitman and his horse mouth. Go.
Ivan Reitman. All right, came to the defense of those. Yeah,
pretty much.
who came to the defense of all the nerds that have said they that those that don't like it are sexist. He said those that don't like it, he said that it's not that they're sexist. They like the nostalgia.
To be fair, he played the thin and narrow line where he didn't lean over either side.
And you know what, though? At least somebody said something. I mean, because I was so sick of being berated.
He's not wrong.
No,
but
he's not.
He's also not a voice to be trusted because he's the executive producer on a film that needs to make money.
Of course he is, but I think the fact is that
fair, like that movie has nothing in
when
common
you have
with
when you have movie websites promoting this whole thing about this whole sexism angle is ridiculous. It's like it's trying too hard to be funny. It's ridiculous.
They should have done it. And you made this point earlier. Why don't you make your point about if this new movie was being recast with some other gimmick?
And I've said this, I think, a couple of pods at this point.
I know what you're talking about.
It's, for me, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, the concept of it being all women, it's a gimmick.
Yes. That's what it is.
But that is what it is. That is
right now. They're playing it as a gimmick, but I think your fear is about you saying this had made it more clear to me after. If it is the gimmick, if it is the
but I mean, Paul Feig, right?
Feige. Feig. Well, Feig.
Kevin Feige.
Look, that's our word.
His bread and butter is female-centric comedies.
Right.
So, and Max Landis is the one that pointed this out.
Right.
He was going to go do a pitch for Ghostbusters 3. He had a whole concept in mind. It was going to have a female Ghostbuster in it. And he was going to go do a meeting right after Paul Feig.
Mm-hmm. Feig.
Anyway, he was the meeting right after.
Mm-hmm.
He found out that Paul Feig went in there and said, okay, Ghostbusters, but all women. That was good enough.
Wow.
To get that movie going. And they never even talked to Max Landis.
Wow.
So that tells you right away that all they needed to hear was a concept and a hook. It didn't matter what the story was. It didn't matter who the cast was. It probably didn't even matter to them who the director was. All they needed to hear was that, all right, here's a familiar franchise and here's a hook to it.
Wow.
That's it. So it's the whole premise is based on, all right, here's a concept, here's a hook. And that's it. It's not coming from a place of storytelling. It's not coming from a place of, again, looking for a cast that works well together. Everything's built off of a hook.
Right.
Which is not a good enough reason to make a story. You should always start story first, which is how the first movie was made. Dan Aykroyd probably didn't know for a fact he was going to have the entire cast that he had in that film. It came together because they had a story. Granted, his original story was changed.
Sure.
But it started with
Ivan
a story
Reitman came
first,
in.
which is the whole point. So when I say that, when I see an all-female Ghostbusters team, it has nothing against it being an all-girl team. It's just that that's the best they could do.
Yeah,
the best they could come up with is to find a gimmick to tell a franchise story. Even Transformers, as bad as it is, at least tried. Because when I watched that Ghostbusters trailer, it's just treading on familiar territory, but it's shot like a comedy.
Yeah, no, it just didn't.
When you watch the original Ghostbusters, if you really, really watch it, it's not technically a comedy film.
No, it's not. You're
really,
right.
really isn't.
You're right. No.
It's not a comedy film in the same way that Ace Ventura is a comedy film.
Right.
Where the whole film is based on gags.
Right.
You take the humor out of Ghostbusters, it still works as a horror, thriller, action story.
Right.
It works on so many levels that you can take almost any element out of the story and it still works. I have a funny feeling this Ghostbusters movie, just based on the trailers alone, that if you take the comedy out of it,
you've got nothing.
The movie won't work.
I agree. That's exactly where I'm at. Absolutely.
And you look at it all, and it's just like they took all the names away, but all the archetypes are the same. Kristen Wiig is clearly the Bill Murray. Melissa McCarthy is clearly the Dan Aykroyd. Leslie Jones is obviously the Winston. So on and so forth.
That's racist.
That is racist.
But it's true.
Man.
It's true. They're all playing off the archetypes of the original film.
Why can't she be the Bill Murray?
Listen, why is everybody
That's
attacking...
exactly what my point was. Why couldn't they switch it up?
Yeah.
I think
it would be the same thing.
Didn't Bill Murray work in a subway car in Ghostbusters?
No, they were working in college.
He didn't wear
Cheech Marin was actually working a boat in Ghostbusters 2, if that's what you're thinking about. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
they should give me the benefit of the doubt.
Any idea would have been pretty much the same thing. Like, let's say somebody went in there and be like an all Mexican Ghostbusters team or an all Chinese Ghostbusters team, all Japanese Ghostbusters. It's a gimmick. It's a hook to get
I'd
people
go
to
for
come
an
and
all
see
Japanese
it.
Ghostbusters team.
Yeah, their tech would be awesome.
Yeah,
But
that's racist. That's also
the
racist.
bottom line is the important part
They would-
is the story.
Ecto 1 would change into a giant robot.
And for me in particular, the Ghostbusters franchise is so rich in potential
Yeah.
for what you can do with
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
That for me is what's infuriating about it. It's that it's so rich with what you can get out of it.
You don't
that
have
the
to
best thing
reboot
they can
anything,
do,
right.
But that's what I'm saying. The best thing that these guys could do is just be like, let's just kind of sort of
Make
retell the
everyone
original
girls.
film, but all girls.
Right.
It feels like you're just like, all right, let's just do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're throwing noodles at the wall just to see if they stick.
Sure. So, and like you said, no, you're right. I completely
Yeah.
agree with you. I'm very disappointed. I'm very unnerved by it.
Like it just bothers me that they couldn't have found a director that would actually have an inspired idea to do something cool and interesting. It's got nothing for I can't speak for everyone. It's got nothing to do with it all being women. It's got everything
Yeah.
to do with the
And
fact
now
that
you
there's
guys-
so much potential there, but all they could find was a gimmick to do another Ghostbusters
Agreed.
movie.
Yeah, and you guys totally are not misogynist now for thinking so.
That's right. We're not
According to Ivan
misogynist.
Reitman.
That's
I've
right.
got no problem with an old female Ghostbusters team, so long as the point of
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
there's
That's
an
what Ivan
actual good
Reitman's
story
saying.
there.
You're not a misogynist anymore.
That's right. You're such a troll, dude. Speaking of, we'll be doing the Ghostbusters premiere on the 14th. 14th is the premiere. We're going to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I guarantee it. We'll make it fun. Prizes to give away. NERDWatch will be there with the new Ghostbusters. We're going to give it a chance. We have to because we've talked about it for a long time. It's time to put
Any film that still does that's going to leave a mark gag.
Yeah, bad. I agree.
It happens in all movies. That's not the sole
It's
reason
the
to discount
worst
a movie.
thing that could happen
There's a lot
in
of
a
terrible
movie
gags.
ever.
Watch Adam
Only
Sandler movie.
Spaceballs got away with that.
Yeah, no, it did. And so, and to be quite honest, so did Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Yeah, come on.
That's going to leave a mark.
Yeah.
Where did you do that?
Oh,
in Ace
yeah.
Ventura. I don't remember.
Ace
that.
Ventura 2.
Yeah, Ace Ventura.
Where the
2.
hell in Ace Ventura 2? I'm
When
totally
nature
blanking
calls?
on this.
When nature calls? You don't remember when nature calls?
Oh, my
The car
goodness.
is flipping over and over and over
Yeah.
and over and over, and he gets out and he slams the door and he says, "That's going to leave a mark." And he
I
starts
thought he
wiping
said
it down.
like a glove.
No, he says that when he lands.
Oh.
Then he gets out of the car
Right.
and he looks at it and he kind of wipes it with his arm, and he's like, "That's going to leave a mark."
Yeah.
Man, I got to watch that movie again.
Speaking of franchises,
You know what they got to do? They got to do an
What?
Ace Ventura 3 with
Either that
With
or
all women. What?
and one dude.
What? No. What?
Listen. Speaking
What-
of speaking of
No,
franchises,
Liam Hemsworth.
No.
speaking of
He's in
franchises,
enough movies.
there has been new pictures that have surfaced on the internet. I'd like to get some reaction to. Transformers has a new movie
No,
coming out
I'm out.
called The Last Night.
You know, it's funny that you just did that. Swan actually thought you are holding a grudge against him for playing Transformers
Yeah,
in here.
I hate his guts.
Wow.
I think it's called The Last Night. But anyway, there has been
A potential reference to Rom, the Space Knight.
yes. And here's the thing: is that it is
Some are hoping.
like a Romulan.
they have
Can we not
pictures.
spend a half an hour on this one?
No. All I'll say is this: is that we've got new pictures of what Bumblebee's going to look like. We've got new
Does he
Transformers.
look like Bumblebee?
A little different.
No, he looks like a Mustang.
He looks like, and then there's going to be we've got new Transformers like Drift and things like that. By the way,
Is he Asian?
He is.
Format. Here's the thing: we're going to do the premiere for a Transformers movie next year.
I'm not going.
You can't do that.
He's mad at Transformers.
I don't know. Swan and Alika get to not show up.
Oh,
Yeah, but that was
man.
Independence Day.
Right.
Yeah, this is Transformers.
Don't be
It's
jealous.
Total BS.
You weren't there either.
I'm not defending my behavior.
Neither was I, though. I wasn't there either.
By the
but I had
way-
a
I was
legitimate
trying
reason.
to let you off the hook.
I had a legitimate reason. I work every Thursday,
Which
now.
is why I was trying to let you
I
off the
love you.
hook.
Thank you. I love you.
Okay,
I have
Todd
to work
Bernardi.
Thursdays too,
Todd Bernardi did not go to the Independence Day premiere.
and I missed so
And,
much.
what was his excuse when he texted you?
He hates Jeff Goldblum.
No, it was even funnier than that. Oh
He forgot.
his
No, that is what it was.
No.
He flat out said, I forgot.
Here was his quote for the Independence Day premiere that he missed, because Gannon texted him. He goes, "Oh, I spaced."
Yeah.
Like what the?
You
what?
totally flaked.
I spaced a sci-fi movie.
Yes, he spaced on a sci-fi movie.
I see what you did there.
Freaking Todd, man, unbelievable. Anyway, getting back to the point, Transformers is moving ahead.
It's so funny that Phormat laughed a little. You didn't laugh
By the
a
way,
lot.
I love that Michael Bay always acts like he's not going to do a Transformers movie.
And then he does another one?
Single one.
It's like when James Brown is leaving the stage,
Yeah.
and they put the cape on him, and everybody's like, "No, James, don't do it." Except the audience is actually going, "Please leave, Michael Bay. Please leave." And then he throws the cape on. It's like, "I'm back."
It's like when the Grateful Dead does farewell tours.
Right. So
They're
this
called
is
the Grateful Dead.
Listen, this may be Michael Bay's farewell movie.
What are you Googling?
You know what? Come on.
They're putting the cape on his shoulders right now.
Yeah,
He's walking
doing it.
out the stage, guys. Cheer loud if you want Michael Bay
right
to come
now.
back.
If you guys want Michael Bay
Part 8.
to quit doing Transformer movies, stop going and seeing them.
I'm gonna watch anything that's Transformers. That's why they pay big bucks for the license.
No one's going to stop because Michael Bay's Transformers, whether you like it or not, is making millions, if not billions of dollars.
Is one of the automatic butts in the seat for licensed properties. I don't give a crap how bad it is.
I would rather see Michael Bay direct Jim and the Holograms.
That would be cool.
And you know, I love Jim and the Holograms, but I didn't see the movie.
I ended up purchasing the movie. Have not yet watched it, so I will watch it though.
If Michael Bay was directing that, there would be a lot of explosions. I guarantee
Awesome. That would be pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, that's
All right. Well,
Michael Bay.
What's wrong with explosions?
that. In Gem and the Holograms?
Yeah, there should always be.
Haven't you watched the cartoon?
I
Like
have,
the
but
second they hit the stage and start singing, the stage should just explode and they're all
That's
dead.
pyrotechnics.
No, they should
That'd be a
all
very
die.
dark movie.
Yeah.
Especially if it was the little girls from the
First
last
5
movie.
minutes in, they all run out. They're about to start
And
singing.
then the Ghostbusters show up.
And make sure they're dead for good.
I don't know if it's a race thing or a lady thing, but I'm mad as hell.
that's right. And it's Jim and the Holograms. So, so they're Jim
I
and the
just
Holograms.
realized I should have did that in the Bane voice.
You should have.
I don't know if it's a lady thing or a race thing, but I'm mad as hell.
You're not helping your cause at all.
You should stop it.
All right, let's
That right there turned on a lot of people to
Yeah.
the Michael Bay movies.
let's move on a bit. Got a couple more things. Number one, got a couple more things when it comes to TV and movies. Really quick,
TV and
television.
movies. Tell me more.
Television. Netflix is very close to signing a exclusive deal with the CW to bring their TV
Universe?
products to Netflix
Cool.
faster. So it's a like $1 billion contract, I think it is, or $4 billion. Not
That
sure.
sounds like a lot of
So-
$4 billion, dude. What Disney paid for Star Wars? That can't be
No,
right.
I'm telling you,
It
right?
can't be
my
$4
phone's
billion.
over there. No, it's like it's a hefty sum that they're paying for over a
But no
period
way
of
is it
time.
$4 billion. That's I mean, come on.
No, it's
My
Again, that's
question-
what Disney paid for Star Wars.
My
There's no way
question-
CW is that lucrative.
How the hell
look
did
up that. Look
Netflix
that
go
up.
from mailing DVDs to people to becoming like this enormous?
I still
gigantic
have a
media
DVD that I
conglomerate?
stole from them because I said that it wasn't mailed to me.
Oh man,
Let me tell you.
They always do.
Let me tell you a
Yeah.
little story about a
They're gonna
Netflix is like the
admit this
IRS. They always
podcasting
find
court.
you.
Let me tell you a little story about a company that disrupted the video business. It's called
They always
Netflix.
find out.
They
So
destroyed Blockbuster
They
and
did.
Hollywood Video
it was
and all those other ones.
It's what they call a disruptive business,
those
and
other
that's
ones.
exactly what it
and
did.
yet Paradise Video is still standing.
That's insane to me.
Yeah,
That's
so
family
they're-
owned.
it's making a lot
They're
of.
tenacious.
All we know is that the Netflix is getting the exclusive rights to CW products, and it's going to be coming to Netflix much faster than
Arriving.
it normally would.
Unrelated. I don't know if you guys want to team up and start mailing DVDs to people.
Like randomly,
I got a
we don't
future to
even.
think of.
Just randomly.
You could start a whole comic.
I don't know how
book thing.
Netflix started. I mean, who was the first guy they mailed a DVD to?
Look up
You
CW
could- you
Netflix
could do
deal.
that. You could do a comic book.
There's no way it's $4 billion.
We're
way.
looking it up. But anyway, that means that you'll be seeing
was
Netflix.
his name. That's
You'll be
the
seeing
guy that started
CW
it
products
all.
on Netflix
John
much quicker.
Netflix.
So it could be like a week
Is that
after
the
the
CEO's name?
season premiere. So
Named after him.
I mean the
John and
season
Robert
the season
Netflix.
finales.
It's 8 days.
So
I don't know. Either way, I'm stoked because my Netflix and chill sessions are going to be awesome.
yeah. So just expect that. Secondly, in the TV department, once again, I mentioned it earlier on the show. Don't forget to watch the Stranger Things Netflix trailer if you can. It's amazing. You guys are going to want to watch it. Once you watch
Financial
it.
terms were not disclosed.
Oh, G Money making up stuff.
AKA $4 billion.
AKA billions of dollars. I was looking at the. I forget what it was, but it was an
internet comment
because he made it up.
No, it wasn't a comment.
He saw it on a meme and was like,
it was some big monies.
Him and Big C get their best information.
The previous 4-year arrangement brought more than $1 billion.
Yeah, which is $4
to CW in licensing fees.
There you go, $1 billion. Right. There it is. Perfect.
So with inflation, that must mean $4 billion.
Well, it was more than $4 billion, and it was 4 years ago.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it's
5 years ago.
It said more than $1 billion.
More than $1 billion, but this original agreement was inked in 2011.
Right.
So for every year it goes up $1 billion?
No, but what I'm saying
back when they didn't know how to ask for more money.
So they had a 5-year contract,
right.
And they
made
just
all that money off
and they just extended it.
Would you just let Todd and G make up facts and introduce them as reality?
Making up facts.
My bad.
Oh no!
Yeah, $4 billion.
Yeah,
that's legit.
It's not what I was trying. I was trying to explain, but
no.
That's fine.
I'm not ripping on you. I'm ripping on T.
Oh, okay.
So Todd, explain, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, keep going, Todd. We got another hour?
All I was saying.
Finish your diatribe.
All I was saying was that they made $1 billion. So.
That's what you just said?
Netflix, CW made $1 billion from the Netflix deal.
Wow.
So
there it is. That's a pretty good chunk of change.
They just extended the contract.
So it's going to be
in the multi,
yeah, which it will be. That's the whole point. So they're renegotiating.
You heard
the
it here first.
You heard it here first. Breaking news.
God, I hope Arrow gets better.
Breaking news.
Yeah, with all that billions of dollars
if it's
floating
that
around.
expensive, I hope Arrow gets better.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we certainly will see.
And how was it that was their most popular show too? Before I could not get into that show.
I can't get in. There's one thing
you like Power Rangers, but you can't get into.
I don't
Arrow?
like Power Rangers.
Oh, okay.
Don't lay that crap on me.
Well, here's the thing, though. You guys got to understand something. For Netflix,
You only like Tommy.
For Netflix to pony up that kind of cash. To pony up that kind of cash, it's because that's probably one of their more lucrative properties on.
Or it's more they need content.
No, they do, but they're looking at viewership, and that must mean that a lot of people are watching the CW product.
That's from the Flash is doing
the
good.
CW has had more than just the Flash. It's also had like Supernatural. They also have
Vampire Diaries,
and they're getting
and
Supergirl.
My wife is one of those people who watches it diligently. She watches it every single week and goes onto the CW app. So I mean, I can't.
And only one of all those shows is actually good.
No,
so tell me which one.
Oh, yeah,
which one?
The thing died.
It's all right. It turned off. They must have lost it. That's fine.
We can only record for so long.
For some strange reason, you know.
Right now that we're off the internet, can we say dick?
No, we can't. Stop it. Yeah. Anyway,
can I say it in my man voice?
Can't. Anyway,
can you tell him about the best kind of cider?
The Dark Knight showed me his dick.
Isn't that weird though? I mean, get the Facebook Live thing. It's weird that it happens. It happened last time, and we were at 2 hours. Now it's happened at about an hour and a half. It's really weird.
Hey,
so I don't know what the heck's going on with that.
Running before
so unreliable.
That's why.
It's true. It's so unreliable.
So getting back to
anyway, getting back to the core here. We do know, other than the CW, moving on to some more television stories, television news. The only thing worth watching this summer has been Preacher. And we're up to episode 7 now of Preacher.
I heard the ratings haven't been so great, but they still renewed it.
It's so good. Really, the ratings aren't that good.
Well, they're not amazing, but they're not really good.
I mean, it's getting better too. I'm hooked.
No, they've already extended everybody's contract and renewed it for season 2.
I did read this article that even though the ratings aren't stellar enough to warrant a second season, they still push forward with it anyway.
I heard it was doing okay enough for an AMC show.
What for?
I get it
for Preacher.
For Preacher?
Preacher. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying.
All I know is, look, I don't under. The thing is,
I like it.
I think Preacher's good, number one, but number two, I think what we keep forgetting is that the numbers that AMC gets is not. It's nowhere near like broadcast television, but
it's not like The Love Boat back in '84.
Right, when 24 million people were watching. But you know what? Regular cable stations would kill for AMC's numbers, man. That's all I'm saying. So, like, if you get
that's what they need.
If you get 4
Preacher
million,
needs a guest shot by Charles.
Preacher needs a gift shot by Mr. White.
Right.
By Walter White.
What's the guy's name? Gavin McLeod needs to show up on Preacher, the captain of the Love Boat.
Captain Steubing?
Captain Steubing.
Captain Steubing, played by Bryan Cranston.
No, played by Gavin McLeod.
No.
That's who would work.
Who the hell is Gavin McLeod?
He is Captain Steubing.
Oh, that's the name of the guy?
The original.
You think he's not dead by now?
No, he's still alive.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's still alive.
God,
He's an extra on The Walking Dead.
Who is...
They don't even need to put makeup on him.
He is The Walking Dead.
Okay, so those of us that have been watching are keeping up with the Preacher story.
That guy's listening right now. He's like, I hate you.
How is the story progressing?
It's good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay.
It's very watchable, easy to follow.
Right.
He loves it.
Now, Phormat's a big fan.
Yeah.
Todd just finished the first in the graphic novel series.
Spoilers!
Now, since you've been watching it, has it been up to your expectations as far as what you've read?
It seems like everything from the television show happens like as a prequel. It's almost like kind of something happens in the town, and that's kind of where the first book starts.
Interesting.
So, and then you're getting all of this, and during the first book, you get all this backstory between Tulip and between Jesse, and you get a lot of exposition about what's going on.
Sure.
Also with the more ethereal forces behind the whole thing, and I think that they're saving that all up for season 5.
Wow, that's a long time.
I think they're playing like a long game. I think that the first season's maybe this season they probably won't approach what happens in book 1 until the middle of season 2.
Whoa, that's pretty crazy.
It is pretty quick though how the show is progressing.
I think that they've got, and I think it's like Game of Thrones. In that kind of way,
sure.
They're using certain things from Game of Thrones, like they're using book 1 from Game of Thrones season 1, but then they started adding book 4 in season 3. They weren't doing that kind of stuff, so I think that Preacher's using elements from the Preacher comic books that are happening even after.
That's crazy to input that stuff. It's like writing wizardry.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. What about you, Alika? Do you like it?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Okay.
How can you not?
All right.
He's never read the book though.
Yeah, I haven't read the book, so I can't be angry about anything.
But
you got to. The books are great, man.
Well, I mean, the reality of it is, when you're doing a TV show, there's no guarantee you'll be able to tell the entire long form of the book.
Right, of course.
So in some cases, you want to see things that you
it's a different form
may
of
or may not get to.
It's just a completely different format.
I mean, look at Walking Dead, for instance. If that was only one season, they still managed to tell a complete story.
Right.
If there was only that 1 6-episode run, you get the idea of it, and then there's somewhat of a resolution. You build from there. Because Robert Kirkman would always say, if they knew the series would last longer than it has, they never would have done the CDC story as early as they did.
Yeah.
Because they don't even do that in the book. They never touch the CDC in the book.
That was AMC saying, listen, if this flops, we need to have...
But, it's a smart move because, there's no way to... who the hell could ever know that a zombie television series would be one of the bigger television shows in the world? There's no way to know that. It's set a precedent. It's never worked before. But now there's Z Nation stuff.
Well, there's only one other time I think it's worked before, and that was a movie called Return of the Living Dead.
No, but that's a movie, not a TV show.
Well, I know.
A TV show of a zombie apocalypse that's never been done before.
True.
A TV show, most TV shows command a presence a lot more than a film. You know what I mean? You can go for a one-time thing and it'd be great, but the television show requires, continuity. You should know this best out of all the people here, considering the fact that in radio it's the exact same way. You know what I mean? You have to be able to have an ending.
Yeah, we gotta start listening to the older shows so we can respect our continuity.
Yeah, I think Todd's a moron. G hates women
and me.
Big C.
All I'm hearing is
asinine comments randomly.
All the time now.
Hey, thanks.
Well,
they're only asinine when you're actually hearing them.
So from now on, I'm not going to let Alika do what the new comic books are. I'm just going to do the new comic books in the Bane voice.
There you go. No, but what you're finding out is that it's...
Future Quest number 3 comes out today.
No, you're not doing that. Stop.
As well as Justice League number 2.
I'd love to do it one day in the movie phone voice. That'd be fun.
See if we can work something.
Are you gonna work something out for your comic book releases? But here's
I don't mean to take it away.
I'm just humoring them, G.
Good. Here's the thing, though,
we gotta keep them happy. We gotta tell them
about
yes.
television. Television is one of those mediums now that can handily beat out a majority of movies.
I was thinking the same thing. Thank you.
This is a longer
High
story.
five, sir.
Okay.
Handily.
I said beat out.
Beat it out.
I think
It's your word choice, really.
beat out.
I think what you're trying to get at is that in dramatic storytelling, a TV
Yes.
show is more beneficial than a movie because
Yes.
you have anywhere from 10 to 23 episodes to tell a story, whereas in a movie you only have 2 hours.
Right, and that
Which is
wasn't
why
always.
most television shows would never work as a movie.
And you're right, but if we think about it, shows of the past that were on television still had those 23 episodes and still never delivered the way that a movie would. It wasn't as affecting. Now it seems to be more affecting, I think.
Well, that's because budgetarily you can actually reach bigger scale with
Sure.
television now than you could have in the past.
You bring a proper draw of human that is actually interested in it.
Yeah, that's very true. And now, and like I said, with the plethora of channels that are available,
Do you think Lost started that?
to be
The idea of epic storytelling in television.
I think Dallas started that.
I think no.
No, I'm thinking in terms of like epic scale.
Format, no. Format's more right than he is wrong.
Because Dallas is still more of a dramatic piece.
What about Highlander?
But it's still an epic
But
story.
format is more right than he's wrong, because in the 80s, what they did was something fascinating. Was that Dallas?
Oh, you know what? Maybe it was X-Files.
Dallas became a huge kind of boilerplate television that there was water cooler television. Dallas was a huge property, and they were
water
doing
coolers. Remember those?
Yeah, remember what water coolers were?
But you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in terms of like things that incorporate special effects.
No. But
and
no,
action.
I know where you're going with that. But you see, without Dallas, I don't think we would have gotten shows like Miami Vice or The X-Files. And you're right, though. I think a lot of it does hang on the X-Files, because the X-Files every week was one of the only shows that I used to watch where every week was like watching a mini movie. It was crazy. And I think that's. I think you're right.
They weren't always great mini movies.
No, and they weren't. But Lost,
especially once Robert Pattinson.
Lost did something.
Robert Patrick took over.
Lost did something unique, and you're right about this. Lost did
in terms of like modern television shows.
Right. Lost did a continuity aspect where it was you need to watch every week, because you can't just.
You got to find out how the polar bears ended up there.
You can't tune in on the third episode and know what's going on. And by the way, remember, Lost is the reason why ABC. Or I should say, the advent of how we watch television now with a lot less reruns, it's because of Lost. Remember, they used to run 4 or 5 episodes of Lost, and all of a sudden there'd be 4 weeks of reruns, and people were ticked.
The reason behind that is because the budgets on those episode to episode were so high that they couldn't keep up to do it weekly.
And you see, but
that's why they needed breaks,
and it works.
Which is why they do that now with all TV shows. Why they
and
do
it
like
works.
Break now.
I mean, it even works in the continuity factor. It just works because you go, okay, we got 6 episodes here. We're going to break away for 3 or 4 weeks, and we're going to come back with another 4. People will take that over reruns any day.
You know what show was hurt by that in a strange way, and it ties straight back into NERDWatch, was The Flash.
Oh,
because The Flash was very highly rated. But it's the reruns that ruined that show.
Yeah, agree. No,
because the show never did drop off necessarily.
I agree,
because that show, for its time, had such a big budget and required such.
Agreed.
I don't want to use that term again, but budgetarily, that show was so massive for what was accomplishable back in the 90s. That they couldn't keep up, so they had to do a hell of a lot of reruns just to keep the show on the air.
Right.
And the fans would
just so
tune
everybody's
off.
clear, you're talking about the one from the 90s.
The original 90s.
Okay, yeah. I'm just making sure. That's what I thought you said, too.
You're saying it had a massive budget.
For the 90s.
For the 90s. No, he's absolutely right. It did.
Because that show never fell off. It's
Those
not.
suits aren't cheap.
But yeah, that show never fell off, and it never lost interest. But because there were so many reruns, the fans wouldn't tune in as much, and it dropped off because of that. It wasn't because of the quality of the show or because of the episodes, because it was a solid show all the way through.
Mm-hmm. I still own the series. I've watched it.
You can watch it right now, and it probably still holds up.
It's amazing.
It's still probably a little dated because of the production value of the time, but it still holds up.
Still good stories.
To be perfectly honest, I still love that Flash suit better than the show that's going on now.
Yeah.
Well, I feel the same about Serenity.
You mean Firefly?
Firefly.
Yeah.
Why
you got to bring that up?
Too soon.
Firefly.
It's been like
15. My heart.
It's been like 16 years, and
it doesn't matter. Have you watched Firefly?
It's
seriously one of the best shows that ever happened. That got canceled.
I've watched 9 out of the 11 episodes.
Shut up, dude. Are you
saving
serious?
the last 2 because
did you watch
your deathbed?
Yeah.
Did you watch the movie?
Because I don't want it's so good. I don't want it to be.
Did
over.
you watch the movie?
I've watched Serenity multiple times.
I watched Serenity. Yeah.
So, how can you watch?
What's the point of holding on to 2 episodes?
Yeah. What's the deal?
Because the movie just resolves all of that.
There's nothing after. There's no more.
Okay, first of all, we don't know that because apparently every TV show that's ever existed has been coming back anyway. So there probably will be another series of 5.
I will watch those. I will watch those other 2 episodes from the last season, like 12 and 13.
I'm going to tell you this though: the last 2 episodes in that box set aren't really worth waiting for.
Okay, so
the series in and of itself is great, but the last episode of that series is like.
How many of us at this table are brown coats?
All of us.
I think all of us. Are you?
I've never watched it.
What?
Whoa.
Get the hell out of here.
You're just jealous that I have the whole series ahead of me.
No, I'm not. Actually, watch it. No, seriously, watch it. It's great. It's great.
I'll watch it with you.
You know how everybody says the best thing that Joss Whedon ever does, Buffy? They're wrong.
Bull.
It's Firefly.
It's Firefly.
Firefly is the best thing that Joss Whedon's ever done.
I agree.
Not even Dollhouse?
Not even that.
Yeah. I agree that Firefly is the worst thing Joss Whedon
big stuff there. Yeah, I know.
How dare you even bring
Buffy,
that up?
Buffy had the benefit of lasting a long time, but
It's just because Firefly was so good.
Okay,
Dollhouse was a solid show, but if
you're pitting it side by side against Firefly.
If you're like, oh, I'm going to watch Dollhouse because it's Joss Whedon, and I really love Firefly.
I actually envy you to actually be
okay, well, let's focus on Alika here for a second.
But don't watch Serenity.
Let's pick on Alika.
Because Serenity is pretty much the second season.
Right. What made you avoid? What made you avoid Firefly?
I didn't avoid it. Actually, somebody gave me the box set to watch. It's just I'm not in a phase in my life where I can get into new stuff. No, I don't have it now.
Wait,
I gave it back to them.
I'm sorry. Were you going to say you didn't have?
To watch it.
I'm sorry. Did you say you didn't have time to get into your life to get involved with new stuff?
I actually stole a box set of that from Barnes & Noble. I was actually happy with myself.
So you said new stuff.
I really did.
The criminal.
No, you know what I mean. Like jumping into it. I gotta. If I'm watching Firefly, I gotta watch the whole thing, and I've gotta get invested. I want to give it the attention it deserves. I don't have that kind of downtime.
Do the same thing that you do with Daredevil.
Oh God, that's like crack though. I can't stop.
Trust me, Serenity and Firefly is going to be like crack.
It's even better than that.
It's not just all that seriousness, but it's also
what it is. Fun. I miss watching. I have no cable at my house. I miss watching TV shows on TV.
You can do that. You can go ahead and get your DVD.
It's actually on Netflix.
I know it's on Netflix, but that's not
Serenity's on Netflix.
You're right. The show is.
Yeah.
Well, Firefly's not. The show's not on.
What about
the show is? Yeah, the show is.
Was there an F word before you said the show?
Nobody said an F word.
Either way, watch it.
They're not wrong. Firefly is a
I know it's something I gotta get into.
It's a unique experience.
It's so good you can't understand why it didn't stick.
You know what? Can I
read something that people just weren't into westerns back then, so that's why they got.
But you see, what's so cool
is deceptively a western, though. Like it is, but it isn't.
Right. I think that the world that he crafted was fascinating.
I like Briscoe County Jr.
and took its place.
That's good.
But there was a show that came out and took its place.
Yes.
That one went on to. I don't remember.
No, you're right. There was. It was only. It lasted. It didn't even show. Firefly lasted 9 episodes or 8 episodes on television, and then they didn't even show
the out of order.
Yeah, and they didn't play the last 3 episodes.
They played the second episode first,
and the first episode second. Yeah, which was dumb. They shouldn't have done that.
It kind of still works though.
Nah.
It kind of still works.
It's
Because to be fair, the second one is a little bit more fun than the first.
Yeah, agreed. But anybody who has never seen Firefly and calls himself a nerd, you should be ashamed of yourself. Watch the show.
I'm not ashamed of myself.
It's a great show.
It's amazing.
First time I haven't been ashamed of myself.
The comics aren't as good, but yeah.
Yeah.
You really owe it to yourself to watch it.
Right. Firefly, courtesy of Joss Whedon.
It'll make you hate Age of Ultron more.
That's true. It'll actually make you. It'll actually
because you're like, wow, the guy that made Firefly and Serenity.
It'll make you hate. It'll make you hate Angel and Buffy as well.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not.
I haven't actually watched all of Buffy.
You've not watched any of Buffy?
Any of it. Wow. I was so anti that show. The movie was amazing, but when I heard it was a TV show, I was like, I don't want to watch it.
Can I tell you the one thing that I didn't
give it a chance.
If I'm honest with our assessment of Firefly, there's one thing that I didn't like so much, and not because it was the crux of the story, but I didn't like Summer Glau as River. I didn't think I never really connected.
What the hell is the matter with
when
you?
I first started,
the whole story is about that character.
I know. I never connect. You know why?
The whole damn thing hinges on her.
I was so enthralled with Nathan Fillion and his Mal and with his.
Here's my
crew.
best way to describe Firefly to you for somebody that's never watched it before. Picture Han Solo if he never met Luke Skywalker and just went on his own.
Well, not his own.
That's pretty much Firefly.
Skywalker.
Well, technically not his own. He has a crew.
He has a crew, but imagine if...
I've heard those parallels before.
That's exactly what that show is. It's like, basically he's Han Solo and he goes off on his own adventure without
And just imagine that he had... It was Han Solo that goes on an adventure by himself with a mobile prostitute.
Oh, wait. You've got my attention.
She is not a prostitute, sir.
She's an escort.
I'm sorry.
She's not even an escort.
She's not even an escort.
An international, what was it?
I forget what term they used.
She was considered
what was it?
A diplomat.
I forget the term they used.
Diplomat because she had sex.
If you were hitting it with dudes.
A companion.
A companion. That's it.
She was a companion.
So she had certain diplomatic status, and they could land at any port.
In the future, it's awesome to be a prostitute.
Right. And ironically, they could land in her port any day of the week.
Unfortunately, there was no diplomatic
Nobody
immunity.
Nobody on that ship had enough money to pay for a companion.
Oh, and by the way, just to let you know, the companion on that show is also
one of the most stunning women in the world.
She also plays
Deadpool?
She's Deadpool's girlfriend.
Deadpool's girlfriend, Miranda Baccarin.
Oh, wow.
God, I love her.
Yeah, she's hot.
You guys are trying to sell me on the show. I already want to watch it.
No, we're not trying to sell you on the show.
We're trying to make you watch it faster.
Yeah.
Like, get into something new for once.
Yeah. Get into something old that is new.
Get into something that came out 15 years ago as if it was new.
Yeah, you should.
And then go and watch Castle after that.
Yeah, then watch
or don't watch
or
Castle.
don't watch Castle or Serenity. Just watch Serenity.
I kind of watch Castle because
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah,
that's the whole reason why I watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Fillion.
I used to say I'm a Bruce Campbell, but not everything he does is gold.
They make constant references to Firefly.
Yep. Talk about Brown.
I like
in the third season.
How dare you, sir?
Wow.
I did hear that Nathan Fillion in real life, like if he's ever someplace where he says that like he has two fans that acknowledge him. Castle or Firefly fans.
Firefly Flan was on. I'd like to try that dessert.
Halo 5
it's either one of the two, and he says that if anybody walks up to him, for some strange reason, if anybody's a Firefly fan, they always do Captain, and he just gives them the nod, and that's it. That's as far as he goes.
That is awesome. That is
and he goes,
so
as
awesome.
you were, and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty awesome. Man.
That is pretty awesome.
The true brown coats, at least.
I know, right?
Yeah.
What about Castle fans? What do Castle fans do?
He didn't go into that one.
You know why?
It's probably mostly.
You know why?
It's probably mostly cougars that just want him to sign something, like their boob or something like that.
It's pretty funny.
Because I gotta tell you, if I saw him in real life, I'm just gonna be like, Captain.
I would too.
I'd say sign my boobs.
Well,
I would ask him to sign my boob.
Gents,
you only have one.
Shut your face.
We slyly went from Preacher to Firefly or from Lost to Firefly. Did this whole roundabout thing, and
this was our television adjacent.
Here's my
segment.
My answer to you for that whole thing. You're welcome.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Alika.
Anyway. I do.
Like how you guys jump down Alika's throat.
What? You never watch it? You're no nerd. You shouldn't even own a comic book shop.
Do blasphemy in the main
This is such a blasphemy.
That's right.
How dare you not watch Firefly?
Your Bane is starting to sound more like the narrator from Dudley Do-Right.
Meanwhile,
I don't even know what that sounds like.
Exactly what you're
And
doing.
you're almost like pitch perfect for it.
You've got to think. You got to do more Sean Connery.
It's hard to. I can't do the two at the same time.
Just do Sean Connery and cover your mouth.
I don't do Sean Connery.
I do Sean Connery.
I think a lot of people would.
Sean Connery.
So,
Say,
Hang on.
listen,
We named the dog in there.
no, we're obviously running out of crap to talk about.
money.
So,
penny.
No, we're not. We're really, really not. I could probably do another hour of just Bane.
oh no, we're good.
suck it, Trebek.
Suck a Trebek.
Say Pussy Galore as Bane.
Pussy galore is Bane.
Coming up next week on the NERDWatch.
You guys are just
It's going to be held together.
tickled with yourselves.
Made myself crack up.
Oh my
I'd
god!
love to end that.
Unbelievable. Listen, before we go,
Oh man,
there,
I'm so happy with myself.
there are
It's pronounced
Pushy. It's pronounced Pushy.
It's Porsche.
I'm gonna have to put a stop to this.
Why are you jealous?
You can't stop the darkness.
No, I can't. I'm not even gonna try.
And Mother Russia, darkness stop you.
This show's never gonna air.
No, it's never gonna air. We're already done.
So sad. It was a good one too.
It was. It was
because of Pussy Galore.
No, it's fine. That's fine. It's an
Because of Bane.
Yeah, it's definitely because of Bane. But listen, before we wrap this thing up, I do want to tell you there are a couple of things that
Goldfinger.
Stop it.
I can't do that one.
Pussy Galore was the femme fatale in Goldfinger.
Yes, she was.
And
that's the best. That's probably the best.
What the hell?
James Bond movie.
My favorite one was Octopussy.
That's a good
Oh,
one
not
too.
that. I think I just beat
Octopushy.
Final Fantasy.
You know what was the best
Exodus.
part about that movie is that when she
Congratulations on
tells
winning
him
the game
her
show.
name, he's like, I must be dreaming.
I thought there'd be more.
I must be dreaming.
I love that movie.
I must be dreaming.
I started this like 2 days ago.
Crazy. Listen.
How much did you pay for it?
Tree.
Oh,
Well, no loss there.
done deal.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Before we get out of here, there's a couple things I got to mention. All right.
Is it the females?
July 15th, or excuse me, this week, today, July 5th, the Dark Knight trilogy. Not to get on the Bane thing.
I feel like you're daring me now.
By the way, which is not working
I
comically.
feel like you're daring me
But the Dark Knight trilogy
Goldfinger.
is
What a
actually
lovely voice.
it's being released in a 3-disc box set with a and I think it's a new documentary. And
you know what? That's the same box set that
Is
I've
it?
already owned 3 copies
Is that
of.
is that the one?
I think it's just more of a digital, not a digital pack, but like a slimmer pack.
Here's something new from Movie Phone.
So I thought I never saw the thing with Dick Donner and Joel Schumacher.
That was on.
Joel
I have the
Schumacher.
collector's box of that.
And Chris
I
Nolan.
think they're just doing a smaller box set of it because that one,
Okay.
when that one came out, was like $100. But it actually is a really good featurette where Richard Donner and Christopher Nolan talk about superhero movies in the
Good. Well, I did.
It's actually
want,
a really good documentary.
I did want to mention that.
It's not even a documentary; it's more of an interview.
Yeah, that comes out today.
That
Also,
just fits on the shelf better.
Pretty much.
yeah.
Honestly, because the box that I have is a pretty big box.
Yeah. Also on Blu-ray today is one of my favorite old films called The Taking of Pelham 123. Stars Walter Matthau. Amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is really good.
Is that a plane movie?
Train movie, isn't it?
Train movie.
Yeah, it's a subway movie. Very good. That's
with Denzel.
That's where for those of you that don't.
Denzel's a very sexy man.
What a lot of people don't know is that that's where the inspiration for Reservoir Dogs came from. The names of the people in
like Mr. Yellow and
correct. Yeah, Mr. Yellow, Mr. Brown, Mr. Orange. All those come from the Taking of Pelham 123.
Why can't I be Mr. White?
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway.
you can be.
That was a racist scoff.
Oh, is that what? Was that? I'm sorry, that was a guffaw. I'm sorry.
What's a guffaw?
Why I gotta be Mr. Yellow?
Also on Blu-ray today, a disc called "Living on the Razor's Edge: The Story of Scott Hall." Pretty cool stuff. Kind of cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is.
Sure?
It's very cool. It's very cool.
It doesn't sound like
it's a wrestling documentary, so it's super cool.
No wonder it's not cool.
For some reason, they're promoting Stripes on Blu-ray. And there's a
Bill Murray movie?
Mm-hmm, and they're re-releasing, for some odd reason, Ghostbusters 2 on Blu-ray today.
Nice. No.
What is that?
That's, if I'm not mistaken, Ghostbusters 1 and 2 are being re-released today as Best Buy Steelbooks.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
And
Best
the
Buy
artwork
Steelbooks.
on them is fantastic, by the way.
Well, there's one that I didn't mention that came out that I failed to mention. I mentioned it earlier in the show on Blu-ray. Courtesy, this will be the last one, courtesy of Scream Factory. Return of the Living Dead is remastered, courtesy of Scream Factory, and it looks amazing on Blu-ray.
Because it's been like 2 years since they re-released Return of the Living Dead, so it's about time.
Well, they finally did. I never saw it, and I was very excited because I saw.
You've never seen Return of the Living Dead?
No. I never saw that there was a disc for it, and I never knew it until I saw the review that was today.
It's been on Blu-ray once and DVD 3 times. But when it comes,
but not from Scream Factory though, right?
Well, Scream Factory is an entirely different animal because they actually spring in to do like 2K resolution.
I'm telling you,
they do new.
The images that I've seen from the old Blu-ray that I saw to the new one, amazing. The Scream Factory stuff is awesome.
Well, it's hit or miss because when it comes to older movies like that, the more resolution you give those movies, the more you see.
A little more grainy. Yeah.
Not even grainy. It's just the higher resolution you can see sometimes the seams.
Oh, the film seams. Yeah.
Sometimes that grain helps you mask a lot of that stuff. So it depends. Certain movies get away with that. Certain movies.
I don't mind it. Scream Factory's been doing such a bang-up job with most of those stuff.
Everything.
Yeah, so
almost everything they do is fantastic.
Yeah, so it's amazing. If you've never seen Return of the Living Dead, by the way, you should. I watched that before I watched any of Romero's stuff, and I still think that that's my favorite. Dan O'Bannon, the guy who wrote Alien, is responsible for that movie. He directed it and wrote it as well. It is great. It's Return of the Living Dead is fantastic.
It's a really fun watch, and even for people that weren't alive back in the 80s, it's strange. The movie still kind of holds.
You know why I love that movie so much? Maybe is the fact that
it's when the zombies go on the thing, go like send more paramedics.
Yeah.
Which I know I'm doing Bane.
And then they do that. Well, that's where you hear brains.
Yeah,
that's where you hear that.
I don't know if Return of the Living Dead started the brains.
No, they didn't. But I will say
but
this:
they definitely were the ones that kind of kept it in the contemporary world.
My fondest memories as a youngster was because I used to watch that on HBO television when I used to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't sleep. It would be Return of the Living Dead. It would scare me.
It had
make
a
me
great
laugh.
soundtrack too.
You
hear the punk rock music? It's a great soundtrack.
You watch on HBO Return of the Living Dead, and I watched about last night.
Right.
Wait,
1 o'clock in the morning.
You watched HBO last night?
No, the HBO. It was a Demi Moore film with Rob Lowe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all,
that's because HBO has
Disclosure.
different schedules for white households. So,
man, that's racist. Hang on.
My mother was
racist.
My mother was the person who owned the and she is completely white, sir.
Okay.
Well, she has a little bit of Native American, so that might be why.
Okay, maybe that's why. Yeah. So
say.
Can you say that?
What?
Can you say that while we're recording?
Can you
say what?
Did you not hear it? Because I'm going to repeat it.
No, I heard it.
Because you know I'm going to repeat it.
No, I heard it. Don't say it again.
You can't say HBO.
You know, you can't
say HBO.
Or can you say?
I don't want to, dude. Like he's gonna edit it out. You're not gonna hear it.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Can you say lifestyles of the rich and famous?
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Yeah.
Actually, that's
pretty spot on. Yeah.
I have to say, I don't know if I'm going to be... I think I'm going to have to throw down a veto. I think Bane needs to disappear next week, or is that just me?
You can shut your face. It's not Bane.
Because he
How
can
dare
actually
you?
hear how it sounds recorded.
Yeah.
And so everyone's talking normal, and then you get a loud-ass Gannon with his hand cupping over the damn microphone.
I'm sure it sounds amazing. I don't even care.
It sounds regular volume to us sitting around the table.
Like, you can't not cup it. Like,
Yeah, but then you're like making an echo chamber around the microphone.
I can't wait to hear
And
it.
so it's going to be like an unlistenable podcast because every 2 seconds it's going to be you going.
Okay, for real, I can't wait to listen to this later.
That's amazing.
It'll be the one podcast Gannon listens to.
Yeah, listen to most of them.
You gotta sound more Irish.
You gotta sound like you can't open your teeth.
Yeah.
Listen,
You have your jaw wide shut.
You've only lived twice.
all right, this isn't Comedian Impressions 101. It's the Nerd Watch. Okay.
By the way, I have never heard a decent impression on the show, except for Phormat's Skeletor, which I was like, wow, that was awesome.
Wait, can we get that?
I have never heard a single good impression on this show.
Come on, dude.
Just to set the record straight.
Good. I'm glad.
I need to
Phormat
hear this.
Skeletor is the only exception.
Sean Connery.
You're just not going to jump in, huh?
I don't know. His walk is pretty good.
Yeah.
No, his walking is not good. I wish I had a rolled up
It's not
newspaper so I
bad.
could smack both of you.
It's
right
not
now.
amazing, but it's not
No,
bad
it's
either.
terrible.
Yeah.
It's only WoW, though.
Todd, I do like the one word wow, I have to admit.
Wow.
I like the concept of it because it's funny because it's bad. Okay? It's the only reason I'll ever giggle at that.
That's the only reason he likes me, because the
That's
concept
the only
of
reason
me
why he
is
grew out
bad.
his beard.
Bad.
Wow!
Oh, God.
Don't cut the mic.
You crossed the streams.
There you go.
You just need to cup your mouth.
You just have to.
Yeah, don't cup the. That's why it's blowing out the.
There you
levels.
go. That might work.
I'll have to work on it for next time.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll work on it for next time.
Practice over the week.
I'll bring a Pringles can next time. Put some holes in it, because that'll probably make it sound better.
I'm so glad that
You got to
we're
get the short stacks.
we're flourishing with this whole thing. We're really
The long can is actually better for Vader.
Oh, I want to work on a bunch of stuff.
I would agree.
We're workshopping the one joke.
I'm
that
still
we
liking the idea of doing the comic book list
this
in Bane's
entire time.
voice.
Oh my gosh! All right, listen, we're out of control. It's time for us to get out of here. I do want to say that for those of you that are gamers, this week and next week, or I should say this week, is a big week for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One because they're having their huge summer sales this week. Xbox One has over 250 Xbox One and Xbox 360 games that are available. You can buy for super cheap.
Get your games for super cheap.
Thanks, Bean. Appreciate it. And then PS4 has some great stuff as well. They actually have the remaster of God of War 3 for like $8. They got some good stuff. So if you're into gaming and you're looking for some good deals, they got some really good stuff. So
If only they took God of War and made it available to Xbox, that'd be cool.
that's never going to happen.
I
It's
know, but
exclusive.
still, it's a beautiful game.
But-
I love playing it.
We need more.
What is that? What?
No.
God of War?
God of War is like the God of War remastered. God of War 3 is $8 on PlayStation 4 right now. It's crazy. There's a whole bunch of good stuff.
That's super cheap.
For download, though, right?
Yeah, for now.
Don't hold into my stuff, man.
You guys
I don't
stop.
hold it on your walking.
You already have your own bad impression. You can't have two.
All right, listen. Before we get out of here,
I'm doing
That's
Christopher
what he
Walken. I'm doing Christopher Walken as
I
Bane.
dropped the walk in first.
before we get out of here, I do want to mention that
He's a biter, yo.
I've got.
You grew up in the
Now we can't hear you at all. Now we can't hear you at all. Before we get out of here, Phormat, anything you want to mention before we take off?
Brave Exvius is a short game.
That's on mobile.
That's,
Yeah, that's
well,
on mobile.
But you're
But it's
also.
Final Fantasy, so
How long
you
did it
kinda
take for you to
follow
beat it?
This is day 3.
Wow.
Yeah, but you're also a pretty fantastic gamer.
You are the
Yeah, I
guru.
guess so.
Persistent.
All right,
You're-
Gannon, what about you? Anything happening? Anything before we get out of here?
I'm going to LA this week. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember he's bringing us back In-N-Out Burger.
That's right, he is.
And
He's
and
not
Cosmic
going to.
Sprinkles.
Cosmic
But
Sprinkles.
I'll send you guys pictures of In-N-Out Burger.
All right.
Can I have In-N-Out
Okay,
Burger?
yeah, the actual.
I'll give you something In-N-Out, but it ain't gonna be no burger.
Wow, you guys are sick. Alika, anything you want to
I'm
add before
sorry.
we get out of here?
I'll give you something In-N-Out. It
There you
won't
go.
be a burger.
Can I have anal music for $3?
Todd, you're not helping yourself like at all. I can't even hear you anymore.
I know. That's why I'm trying. But everybody else can.
Okay,
Todd?
now you're
Todd, just so you know, you're not doing a good job.
I'm just trying to do a good job.
All right, Alika, anything you want to add before we get out?
I'm just trying to do a good job.
You good? What about you, C? Before we
I
get
want
out
to go
of here?
home to see my wife and kids.
I'm actually I'm really enjoying competitive play on
Not gonna
Overwatch.
happen.
Oh, yes, competitive play has been actually patched into Overwatch, which is really good. You can win golden guns and all kinds of cool stuff.
And they made it a little more.
You know what I can't believe I have not played, but has been downloading on my PS4 for almost 2 weeks now?
Oh.
The Resident Evil 7 demo.
In
Oh,
Overwatch.
yeah.
Yet to touch it. I'm sorry. Did I totally step all over you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
No, he's done. He's good.
But yeah, I haven't played the Resident
Because
Evil
I'm not
7
white
demo.
enough, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no HBO for you.
Todd, what about you before we get out of here?
Wow,
Anything,
he really
anything for you?
What? Anything for me coming up this week?
Anything spectacular you'd like to mention on the show tonight?
I'm just glad I'm here, and
I'm glad
I
you're
want
here,
to
too.
I want to thank all you guys for having me.
Well, we really like having you here, Todd. It's amazing.
I just
I feel like when you guys talk like that, you're talking to a special child, like a special needs child.
Well,
because I remember that. When I was a
we're
kid.
talking to Todd.
Todd rides a short bus.
Todd's talking. Why would I be talking to myself? I'm just trying to. Sorry. You know what? I take it back. I'm not coming back next week. And I'm not going to do what you guys think I'm going to do.
If you don't come back,
we're going to interview you.
I'm not going to freak out.
all right. If you don't come back next week, I'm not going to come back next week.
well,
We already knew that was happening.
You're going to be in LA.
Yeah, you're being in LA anyway.
See, now he knows.
Yeah.
You just said
I
it.
almost had him for a second.
I can't threaten him with
He
that.
almost forgot where I was going to be.
He'll be excited that I'm not here.
Oh, never mind then.
Well, no, that's great.
Yeah, that's me. Anyway, I do
What
want to.
about you, Greg? What are you doing next week?
Thank you, Todd, for asking.
Yeah.
This
We
coming,
already stopped caring.
This
This
coming,
is- I'm polite.
Yeah, I know. This coming week, I do want to mention that HawaiiFilmCriticsSociety.org has a plethora of reviews from myself and Phormat that you can take a look at and take a gander
What about Professor Barry?
at. Who?
He's dead to us. He hasn't been to a podcast.
I think it's the guy who runs that website.
Yeah, Professor Barry is the guy who runs that
I know.
website.
You got to make him renew his membership to the NERDWatch.
I
Come
know
on.
he's going
We
to
should
pretty
hear
soon.
his impression of Bane.
I'm sure it's fantastic.
That's what's
No,
that's
I
it's
want to
no-
see his impression of Kid from Kid and Play.
HawaiiFilmCritics.org is where you want to check out our latest reviews.
We're
I got
plugging
reviews
everything. Let's all plug something right now.
up. Yeah, well, listen, if I just want to let you know I got my Conjuring
bet
2
you
up
are.
there, my
I
Independence
got stuff
Day.
to plug.
So I got some really cool stuff. That's what that whole thing was. That's
you
why
missed it because you wanted to do
you
your
missed your
Bane
shot.
I
impression.
didn't realize it. I thought you
Bane?
asked me what I was doing, not to plug something I'm
Nobody
like,
cares what you're doing.
later.
Of course, he's asking about the minorities.
That's right.
Home slice.
Well, not the minorities.
He never
but
cares about
the
me
band,
playing games. He wants
the
to know how you're
minorities.
doing.
You know how G is concerned about the status of minorities
That's
in this
right.
country.
Absolutely. So my latest interviews or my latest reviews are on MauiWatch.com and Hawaii Film
Silent
Critics Society.
Sean is here.
Right before we finish.
HawaiiFilmCriticsSociety.org.
Hey, can we get a lunch for
Check
the
it
road?
out. Yeah. And then, what do you want to plug before we go?
A ball
I got
shot.
nothing
You
really.
got nothing?
I mean, I got a show in August and a show in September. So that's kind of
Okay.
far off.
All right, we'll talk
Kukui
about that.
Project, Kukui Project, Kukui
I
Project.
There
will
you
tell
go.
anybody
Baba
to
booey,
watch my Facebook, Instagram, and Facebook feeds this weekend 'cause
For
I'm
Los
gonna see some
Angeles
fun stuff.
Good. Put some of that on the NERDWatch if you want.
I will.
And now Sean is reenacting the Kanye West video.
I can feel Sean's manhood in my back.
I was thinking that it was more like the ghost
This
What
movie.
was
is,
the name of that video?
I forget the name
The
of
one
that
that
video.
James Franco and Seth Rogen recreated.
I don't even remember.
This looks more like the Franco Rogen version.
It does. Hey, listen.
See,
before-
why is it we're not filming right now?
No, we should. It's already over. I do want to let you guys know you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/TheNerdWatch. You can follow us on Twitter at NerdWatchNation. You can follow us on our YouTube page at NerdWatchNation, and you can follow us on Instagram at _NerdWatch. Last but not least,
Don't forget to ignore our Patreon page.
yes, last but not least, do not forget to check out our Patreon page. It's patreon.com, and just look up the NerdWatch.
You can give us like $1 or just not even go
Listen,
to it.
sponsor us for $1 or $2. It'd be fantastic. We'd love to hear from you. It'd be great. Any
Or just bring
little
us
bit
like
helps.
a box of chicken nuggets.
We would love to have you guys on as patrons or patrons. That's patreon.com and search the NERDWatch. All right, we're out of time. I'm
Search
sure
the NERDWatch.
I'm sure next week we'll have even less to talk about.
We'll be able to talk about Ghostbusters.
We will be, and then
I won't be here though.
and you'll be here for the
I'll be here for the premiere.
premiere, yes. And then the week after the premiere of Ghostbusters is the Star Trek premiere.
Oh yeah,
Star Trek Beyond. So we're going to
Anton
be there as
Yelkin's
well.
last film role, sadly. enough.
Anton Yelchin's last film.
Well, I don't
so-
know. He might have made something else after that. I think.
That Patrick Stewart movie,
Oh,
too, yeah.
I forgot to mention that. How could I have forgotten?
That was like
I
2
watched.
weeks old news already.
I watched The Green Room.
Yeah, I have it downloaded. I've been waiting to watch it.
Oh man,
I'm dying to see
I
it.
can't
I heard
believe I
it's really
didn't.
good.
I can't believe I can't take time to talk about it, but I will next week. The Green Room needs to be seen after you watch it, maybe or something. But the Green
Let's
Room
wait
is-
till I see it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wait for you to. We'll talk about it.
I'm gonna watch it on the plane.
I
It's
watched
based
the
on
Green
G
Room.
Money's life story, except G Money never escaped.
You do
the
realize
crime.
there's nothing in common with G-Money. It's about a punk rock band that gets ambushed by
Yeah, it has more in common
Skin
with
rubs.
it has more in common
And
with Gannon than me.
Yeah, G Money is in the white supremacist thing.
So it's like
I see.
it's like a you
I
against
picked him
me
as
thing.
an extra because they saw him abusing minorities, and they're like,
I
"You're
see.
our guy."
That's I see how
That's
it
the
goes.
story we want to
That's
tell.
the story we want to tell. We'll talk
that's
about
most
that because
compelling.
I'd like to hear your thoughts on it because
I'm dying to watch it.
I will say that I thought it was pretty phenomenal. Until next week, guys.
Are we ever going to talk about the Ultimate Edition of BVS? Because I haven't seen that.
We will on the 19th.
gotta watch it first.
Yeah, we got to watch it first on the 19th. Did anybody watch it? I haven't.
I've watched some footage of the cuts.
All right, well, let's watch it all. Let's watch the whole
Can we
3
do a
hours.
commentary too?
Not for that thing.
That's a 3-hour
It's a
movie.
3-hour movie. A 3-hour movie. Anyway.
It's a 3-hour movie.
Oh, dude.
Have a wonderful week, guys. We will see you guys back here, or hear you guys back here next week. Same nerd time, same nerd channel. Once again, in this beautiful comic book shop we call Maui Comics and Collectibles at 333
Thank you, Alika.
Derry Road in Kahului.
You're the
Comics, collectibles, and creeps. Us.
Yeah, there are some creeps in the store.
Yeah, thank you very much. There you go. You know it. And there comes one right now.
Hi, it's me.
There you go.
It's Todd Bernardi in
All
the
right.
flesh.
So for Phormat, for Gannon, for Alika, for Todd, for C, and for the one and only Silent Sean, who is in the
Lunchmaster
house.
Sean.
Lunchmaster Silent Sean in the house.
Sean.
Yeah, we
I
will.
would hate to be that underwear.
I would.
Until
Why?
next
'Cause he
time.
doesn't change it?
Pay extra to be that underwear.
No, because he doesn't use it.
Let me get out of here. Peace out, much love, and most assuredly, always stay nerdy. And until next week, we say to you guys,
Hello.